This one you gon' have to duck. Tell me about your lifestyle, really. We've been on the road to the tank go empty. I'ma keep going to the Lord, come give me. If you wanted me to stop, then you can't come with me. Thinking you the best, silly. We about to put it in your chest, really. And I don't think you really want problems. Think you know the outcome. When you come around, dog. You thinking you getting me? Is you kidding me? Ripping everything that was again in the vicinity.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise!
Presence in the back of the line. Nasty. The ace in his sights, and he'll take it. There are two players in church. There's one player in church. A save! He's still going! Oh my God, a save! What is this? Having it through long-range shots for Gunley. He is feeling himself. In the midst of a 6-3. Oh! Not just one, but two players in. And the third. It's all on to the captain. A huge 1v3, but Røkkr will take it in the end. Pirates still going. Second segment in finds a fifth. You know money he'll like River. FaZe find a way to bully themselves to get inside. Land of FaZe. Dominant.
But it's Simp. What a read. Simp finds a few more.
There's no one in position. So the victory looks right now.
Let's get into it. Cool and juicy. Let's go.
Hello, and happy Sunday to all of you beautiful people out there. Today, we're going to have 2 games with 4 teams, all looking to walk away with a big fat W at the end of the day. But here on the desk, we're going to break things down with the masterminds. We got Nameless, we got aLLeY, and me. I'm just a desk host, and aLLeY, this is it for week 2 so far. It's crazy to say that it's only been 2 weeks, and we have crazy storylines so far.
It literally felt like last weekend was like 2 days ago. I feel like I blinked and an entire week has gone by, and now we're almost done with week 2, heading into Major I.
You're right. And Nameless, let's talk about the games, man. Let's go ahead and preview a few. Matter of fact, last time Toronto was on screen, they were looking great, man. And by the way, speaking of Toronto, seeing players like Bance pop off just on the regulars, it's beautiful to watch.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, we saw them in their last match versus LAG. I mean, it was a bounce-back match from having their first loss in the league to Seattle. And then they come back, they play LAG, and they dominate. And what we saw out of Bance was fantastic. I mean, the MVP player for them last year in that control, he was putting them in a spawn trap, popping off. I really enjoyed what I saw of the Ultra.
Right, and speaking of which, they're going to be playing against the Florida Mutineers to close out the day, and that's going to be a great one. But let's talk about it. There's some big news today, actually, and Cammy from the Toronto Ultra, he will be out. And aLLeY, there's going to be a player named Hixie that will be stepping into his shoes. What do you know about him?
Well, so Hixie is, of course, coming up from Challengers. He is the sub player for Toronto Ultra. And what's interesting is last year he had, I believe, top 4 placings across the board when it came to Challengers. But in Vanguard so far, not as much success. Highest placing being T6 right now. But it could be a capsule situation. Obviously, this wasn't a sub in. Toronto wanted to make with Cammy feeling unwell. But technically, this could be Hixie's debut into the league.
All right, I like how you brought up capsule there. Maybe he could have a capsule effect. We'll find out. But speaking of which, Toronto, I think they're still going to look good because Nameless, since we've been seeing them on screen, when it comes to respawn game modes, I mean, this team, they're just on it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Toronto and where they found a lot of success last year. It was in Search and Destroy, but also in the controls. And that control was clinical that we saw versus LAG. Oh, yeah. So I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing out of this Toronto team. They keep getting stronger. They're still obviously a top 4 team in the league, if not top 3. So when it comes to Toronto, it's really on players like Bance and Kleenex to continue to play aggressive, continue to be annoying and a nuisance in spawn. The teamwork is there. When we heard them in the listen-in, the communication was cool, calm, and collected. It didn't even sound like they were in a pro match. It was just a conversation happening, and that's how you know a team is special. So, yeah, I mean, I expect greatness from this team throughout the entire season. And despite having, you know, Hixie play for Cammy today, Toronto has a really good system. So as long as Hixie can come in, provide good comms, and just fit into their system, make the right plays, they should be fine, right? They don't rely on individual play that often.
No.
They take turns popping off.
Yeah, they have a formula that definitely works with the core of this team. And taking a look at the stats so far when it comes to the respawn game modes, 10-4, top 2 in every category. But first, when it comes to non-traded deaths, that's absolutely insane. And aLLeY, I think that even with this substitution happening today, Toronto's going to be fine.
Absolutely, and Hixie is a standout player as well. I believe he's going to have that sub in his hand going into the series today, filling in for Cammy, and I think Toronto will be just fine. But I guess you could say this is good news for Florida, right? They were already going against possibly one of the best teams in Vanguard right now, and maybe now giving them a little bit more of a favor because of the surprising sub-in.
Right, and speaking of Florida, this team are going to definitely have to bring it, because last time we saw them on screen, we almost got around 11 on a map 5, and it was really fun to watch. The comeback was almost there, but Nameless, when it comes to individual presence and just prowess on this team, there were 2 really big standouts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought most of them played well. I like what I saw out of Dave. He played fantastic. I think it was his best series thus far, with the big playmaking ability in the first search and destroy. But it just comes down to the hard point for this team. They play way too individual. I mean, we're seeing players drop 85 plus interactions, almost damn near 50, and they're not winning the map, right? So with the Florida Mutineers, we've had concerns about the communication in the past. Now, where that might be getting a little bit better, they're still not at the point where, you know, I'm going into series favoring the Florida Mutineers. I think they have a lot of work to go. The teamwork really isn't on point just yet, and that's why we're seeing moments like this where they're getting completely squad wiped in crunch scenarios. So yeah, a lot of work to be done, and the hard point needs to be polished.
Well, when you have 80 plus interactions a game and you still happen to go positive, that says a lot about you and your team. The moment they're able to bring that all together, though, I think Florida will be a big problem this year. But also, aLLeY, when they tried to bring it to around 11, something crazy happened. Can you remind the fans what went down?
So Big Wake was stuck in a 1v3, and he almost pulled it off. I mean, he comes through in the back here. He finds one player off guard, but he doesn't get the kill right away, so that burns a lot of time, and he calls the glide bomb in. You know what? I think Big Wake kind of just forgot that glide bomb takes like 20 years to get called in. It was 14 seconds on the clock. By the time it hit ground, it was already too late for him to get that kill and defuse the bomb.
Nameless, can you make sense of that for us?
Yeah, I mean, he's in a 1v3, right? Like, in your head when you're in a 1v3, it's like, what do I need to do to clutch this? He wins the first gunfight, he finds the second, gets the kill, gets that glide bomb. At that point, like, there's way too much stuff that you're trying to process, so he calls in the glide bomb. Obviously, calling in the glide is a blunder, but he could never be at fault for almost clutching a 1v3. I think it's just, I've been in those situations before where when you're trying to look at the clock, but also balance, like, what do I need to do to win the round at the same time? It's a lot to juggle when you still need to get that diffused. So I'm not going to put him at fault at all.
However, I will say I think that kind of separates the good players from the great players. This is kind of his debut as a CDL pro, but come on, man. You saw Lamar's ice in a 1v2. Like, there's no reason Big Wake shouldn't be able to pull it off as well. You have 14 seconds on the clock.
But I'll say this. If he were to have clutched that would have been one of the top 3 best clutches of all time in Call of Duty history. So, like, I'm not going to say that, you know, that's what separates good and bad players.
Yes, it does.
99% of players in 99% of those situations they're not close.
Hey, listen, if you were on main stage for a championship game and that happened to your teammate to win it all, $1 million on the line, man, are you going to look at him and say, hey, you almost clutched a 1v3, it's not your fault?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be our fault for dying earlier in that round and putting him in a 1v3.
That's fair. That's fair. I will say Big Wake popped off in that search destroy. I believe he had like 12 kills to finish that game 5. But what I will say is in that moment, what were his teammates saying to him? Because his teammates are just watching it happen. So somebody had to have been like, dude, there's only 14 seconds on the clock.
Listen,
like,
guys,
you have no time.
Rule of thumb,
even when I'm playing, I'm telling my teammates 15 seconds.
All right, Dave, let's bring it back together.
As a rule of thumb, like just end of discussion, nobody should ever be expected to clutch 1v3, even if they get down to the final 1v1. It's just like, it's not. There's no world where like it's Big Wake's fault. There's just no world where it's.
Hey, but you know what? He has a lot of time to learn and grow because Big Wake, he's pretty much new to the CDL, and he's one of a big group of young players that are really taking the league by storm. And aLLeY, when it comes to challengers, this year there was a crazy stat where it was about, what, 50% of the league are full of rookies?
Yeah, no. This is 100% the challengers year of the CDL. Big Wake is a good example of a traditional player coming up through the challengers scene, going through the gauntlet, getting a couple first place placings in the elites and the cups, and then getting sought out and drafted by a pro team of Florida Mutineers. Same deal with Pred, right? He was an APAC player. Nobody saw that coming. He's frying on main stage, and there's so many other storylines like that. And can you imagine challengers is just teams full of players like that going at it constantly?
Hey, you know what? Matter of fact, someone that knows a lot about challengers, kind of like you, right? One of your challengers co-casters, iHost put together a nice little video to educate us a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look.
What's up, Call of Duty fans? iHoldShift here with a quick Challengers update in case you may have missed what's been going on in Challengers Elite. The last 2 weeks have featured group play across Europe and North America, where 8 teams play in a round-robin style to figure out who the top 4 would be as we get ready for next week's playoffs. In Europe, the conversation focuses on a Spanish team consisting of Journey, Lucky, and Methodz, who should be familiar to old Heretics fans, but a lot of the spotlight has been given to a Challengers newcomer and 18-year-old Real. This Spanish SMG superstar in the making currently boasts a 1.12 overall KD with exceptionally high marks in Control, where he holds a 1.15, good enough for top 5 in Europe. The EU playoff bracket starts on Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. GMT, with Young Galactics playing the Originals and Sucre's Bakery taking on Revenge Tour. In North America, predictions pretty much don't need to exist, as we've had a lot of chaos happening since the Elite Qualifiers. But our final 4 teams right now are Texas Nation, 18 and cracked, UIU, and Whatever It Takes, with Texas Nation winning a 3-way tiebreaker for the #1 seed. Although the throwback Enigma 6 team of Texas Nation has looked incredible from start to finish, my most anticipated player to keep an eye on this playoffs is Johnny from UIU. This is Johnny's first year competing in Challengers, and after dominating the S&D community over the last few years, his numbers have made him one of the most exciting new prospects, as he currently holds the #1 Slayer rating and the 4th highest S&D KD across North American Challengers. The playoff bracket for North America will start on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, where Texas Nation will face Whatever It Takes, and UIU will square up with 18 and cracked. You can find the Challengers broadcast live Tuesdays and Wednesdays at youtube.com/COD-Challengers, and of course, we hope you join us for the playoffs starting on Tuesday.
As you guys heard it from Shift and also aLLeY here on the desk, I mean, everything from Challengers has been amazing so far. And if you take a look at these dates, make sure you save them, all right? On my birthday, February 15th, we're going to see the Elite Season 1 continue on until the 16th, but also keep your eyes open for Elite Season 2, which will begin February 26th. And you guys already know the deal. You know where to watch us. youtube.com/COD-Challengers. And Nameless, you know, it's the OG here on the desk, man. And as a veteran in the scene, what is it like seeing all of these young gunners really step up in a big way?
It's wonderful, man. And you see these guys develop and get to a higher level than they were back when I was playing in the amateur scene. Like, dude, they're nasty because there's so much volatility in the Challenger scene. People changing rosters left and right. Everything that can be thrown at you is thrown at you when you're playing in Challengers, right? So you got to be able to adapt, play with new teammates, you know, maybe every single month. Like, it's crazy out there. So these guys are getting so much better so fast, and that's why we're seeing some of them come into the CDL and have an immediate impact. So I'm expecting players to continue to come through the path to pro and make waves in the CDL.
Yes, sir. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. We're going to get the day started with some games. So before that, we're going to jump to a short break. On the other side, though, we're going to catch the London Royal Ravens continue on with their impressive year, face off against a team that really needs a big win, the Los Angeles Guerrillas. We'll see you guys on the other side. All right, welcome back, welcome back. We didn't keep you guys waiting for long, and rightfully so, because the London Royal Ravens are going to be back on that main screen, and I can't wait. So far this year, they've been taking the league by storm. One of the undefeated teams, and one of the most impressive that we've seen so far.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to the game fuel keys to victory, make the game easier for yourself, London. You're already having such a hot start. Their first in break percentage still in last in rotation win percentage. But you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, because they have been cracked out when it comes to hardpoint thus far and win the Battle of Berlin hardpoint Titans. Both teams are 2-0 during the regular season, meaning that both of these teams have yet to fall when it comes to Berlin hardpoint. We'll see later on if that's in the map series layout. And of course, limit Seam's placemaking in control. He has a 1.23 KD this season. We've seen what he's able to do once he's on a roll.
You're right, and while London are going to be busy trying to keep a Seam in the trash can any way that they can try to make that happen, because it's going to be hard to stop them, what do the LA Guerrillas have to do, man?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things they're going to have to do. Well, their hardpoint has been fantastic thus far, 4-1 in that game mode, so they can really go toe-to-toe with the Royal Ravens when it comes to that mode. And then also gunless. This guy's been sitting at, what, a 1.19 KD overall in hardpoint, so he's been frying in that mode, so I'm expecting him to keep that going. And then for the game fuel keys to victory for the Los Angeles Guerrillas, first blood success will determine rounds in search and destroy. London is first in first blood win percentage, last in 3v4 win percentage. So if you get that first blood, you're going to put them in a very tough spot. Hardpoint setups have to be better. They're playing great in hardpoint, but they're going up against a London team that is breaking 42% of hills. They're first in that regard. And we saw that stat yesterday. They lost 9 out of 9 rotations. And as for the last key, figure out the S&D defensive woes, last in defensive round win percentage, and 2 for 8 in neutral retake situations. So yeah, figure out search and destroy. That's the one game mode where they've looked lackluster in, but in their last match, they seem to have picked it up and played a little bit better.
So this match is going to be kind of tricky. Yes, you're going to have a sub that's really talented stepping in for Toronto, but on the flip side, LAG, they're looking to be so much better this time around. When it comes to predictions, though, nameless, who you rocking with? The LA boys or you going with Toronto?
Oh, well, I'm going to go with London in this series.
I mean,
yeah.
London.
I'm going to go with London. I think they're going to take it in a 3-1 fashion. I just love what I've seen out of them. They've been playing super consistent, and I expect Gismo to pop off once again.
Right, aLLeY, do you have London or LA?
I definitely have London, but I will give LA props, as I think they'll keep the hardpoint games close.
Yes, me as well. I'm going to rock with London. They're just looking so good right now, and there's no reason why anybody should doubt them. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to get this thing started, and none other than Lando and Standy are going to be there to take it away. Fellas, how are you feeling today, and how excited are you for this matchup?
Oh, Valley, we are absolutely stoked. This is going to be a great series. I mean, like you said, teams like the London Royal Ravens are being misconstrued to be the Toronto Ultra. This is a great side for the CDL. But I tell you what, Jay, we're feeling good. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We got some great matches, but I'll toss it to you. How you feeling, brother?
I'm excited, man. Like you said, Super Bowl Sunday. Can't wait to go watch that later. But we got to focus on what's in our face right now. This intense match between both of these great teams. Obviously, the Ravens, ever since the kickoff, they've just been dominating, man. 3-0, looking real fluent. Already basically secured their winners bracket for that Major I. So they're looking to just continue to get better in their hardpoint specifically, man. Like, they're number one in break and when they're trying to break into hardpoints, but you got to focus on your rotation. So going forward, just keep on practicing on that. And then the opposite side for LAG, they're sitting at 1-2 so far in stage 1, but they still have a chance to make the winners bracket. And it all starts with this match right here, because next week, pretty sure they have a matchup against Minnesota. But this is a tough one, man. They haven't really had a lot of success in 2 game modes. The best mode is going to be hardpoint, search and destroy, and control. They have to try to find an answer.
Yeah, without a doubt, my friend. Let's go and take a look at the maps and modes for this series. Our first one of the 2 that we've got going down on this lovely CDL Sunday. It's Kavutu Hardpoint to start, followed up by Berlin Search Destroy, Kavutu Control, Berlin Hardpoint. And if it does go the distance, we will be seeing some Bocage Search and Destroy. Now, partner, I know you mentioned it. You were talking about it with me in the veto process. Break it down. What did LAG do based off what you see in the map bands here?
Yeah, so when you take a look at these maps, you're probably thinking, oh, London did a great job, man. Like, they're going to catch some soft guards. There's certain maps that you see LAG haven't even played. They haven't touched the Kavutu hardpoint or even that Bocage Search and Destroy. Even for the Kavutu Control, they only played it once and went all the way to a round 5 versus Boston Breach, where they ended up dropping. But what I really liked out of LAG is that when off the rip, Team A was going to be London. They came out and they just got rid of Bocage. They're 0-2 on that. They do not want to play it. But instead of London, getting rid of Kavutu, which has been of LAG getting rid of Kavutu, they come out and they get rid of Tuscan. And I love that heads-up play, because if you're going up against a team like London, they're number 1 in breaking into certain hardpoints. On a map like Kavutu, where you're going to force that rotation to be huge, it also allows your teammates to set up with those long-range gunfights, pick them up a little bit easier, not allow them to get into certain points. But then also, this is where it kind of scares me, because we're talking about LAG, and with aSim and Hook on the same team, they have 2 Kavutus. Basically, aSim is going to be a third AR this entire series.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say there's a lot of pressure on aSim's shoulders to really try and take down, to do something that really nobody's had a lot of success in doing, shut down the Ravens in a series.
as at least off the rip, it's going to make it a little bit easier. Afro taking him down, most likely on one of those pesky barrels. But like I said, Jay, a lot of numbers, a lot of stats to throw at the folks. But as we said, LAG coming through, throwing a little bit of a curveball out there, and we'll see if it can work out for them. 16-2 so far here at our opening hard point.
And so with only 25 seconds left on this P1, you have to start thinking about the rotation. But this has been a great start from LAG. They're finding kill after kill in the feed. Number 6, which is going to be Gunless, does find that 2-piece to get himself set up for that P2 hard point. If you're London, you can't give up all this P1 time, so they're still going to commit towards pushing this, get this remaining 10, and now potentially set up that pinch.
And we saw it there for a moment. One guy that you're looking out for, especially if you are on the LAG side of things, Jay, what is going to be that player on your screen right now? Number 3, take a look at him on the mini map. He's going to be making the plays constantly here on this opening Gavutu hardpoint. I mean, what, Jay? The guy leads in like pretty much every statistical category. It feels like number 1 in overall KD so far throughout our Major I qualifiers. He sits incredibly high in hardpoint, incredibly high in control, and he's also sitting in like the top 6 in search and destroy. Gismo has been one of the best players in the CDL, and LAG are going to have to do their darndest to try and shut him down.
100%. One of the best players, one of the best interviewers. I love every time he gets on that camera because he's so himself. But into this game, LAG, they have been dominating this P1 to P2 rotation. 67-6, only 20 seconds remaining for this P2 hardpoint. They should be able to get this remaining time. aBeZy, we were worried about him stepping up with the AR in his hands. Already on a 6-3, one off getting that glide bomb.
And this could be huge, right? All things considered, Ravens right now have got the spawns for Beach, which can be a money hill on this map. And really, for the most part, it feels like every hill on Gavutu could be a money hill, but especially on this bad boy, it's a wide open space. And seeing the teammates look to play around each other, you can see they're trying to play for the streak. On that 6 in a row, who can Gunless? They're able to find the 2, and with that, that will be the glide bomb earned, but he may not have to even utilize it. They'll break on in, instantly pushing out P1, but we'll see if they're conscious of it. The Ravens still spawning over toward green. aBeZy about to make it, potentially 8 in a row as Gismo and Nasty, Afro, the entire crew shutting down players just like that. The Ravens break on in back toward the hard point, still 30 seconds left.
And then with 25, you're not even too mad about it if you're LAG, because now it's going to be able to set you guys up for that P4. If you can keep these guys off this time as well, that'd be the cherry on top. But that's going to be the Ravens who find 3. Now they're able to push up through ring, down by 60 points currently, but you have to keep in mind aBeZy still does have those streaks to work with. You just cannot allow the Ravens to contest this from the front. You want to continue to slay the way that the Guerrillas have been slaying so far in this game.
And I mean, what, Jay? It looks like LAG have come out with a solid game plan so far. I mean, you and I talked about how it was an interesting call for the Guerrillas, but it appears that this has been the strategy coming into this map. It's no surprise, right? The percentages, the things that we've talked about with this Ravens roster is their breaking potential as Gismo looks to try and put that to full force. He's able to take down 2 before dropping. LAG still with close spawns as they will reach that century mark. Ravens doing their best to try to fight through here from the front, and let's see exactly how those comms are sounding right now. Already in the big game are LAG, so let's go to a listening now with the Guerrillas.
There's 2, another one on time. Back left, challenge.
Afro weak.
All good.
We're gonna flip.
Get out if we can.
Nice. We'll give you both. I spawned
30 seconds here.
I spawned ring as well. I'm wrapping back.
Yo, bottom.
Yo, top boat as well. 0.
0 1 shot on you, Austin. 0 1 shot on you. Where's the top boat? Top boat 1 shot.
That's the only one.
Top boat.
They're gonna cross the P5.
Top 3, guys.
Make sure we're calling
them where they are on boat.
Top green weak.
Top 3 dead. I got him on top green. Nade time.
Okay. What a pinch this. One guy's gonna be spawning top foot.
I didn't hit him on top. He's weak on time. Here, try to work this quick.
On the spot, nasty. On the spot, nasty.
He's stunned.
Yo, another one, top 3. Nasty, weak. Go get this top 3. Get this top 3.
Top 3 dead.
Nice. Get my time. Yo, one's going mid top lane.
No.
I got it.
I killed one of them.
Mid-stairs, Afro weak. Top ring.
Is he hitting it?
I don't know.
He went down their side.
Just showing on time.
One bolt up.
One bottom boat, one top
middle. One bolt up middle.
There's 2 top boat.
Every top boat right now.
Don't shoot yet. I have a gun. I died.
Another one. Got me. Front green got me.
Nice. One more. I'm helping.
Play old. It's 18 seconds, guys.
I have glad.
Afro's green. We have a glide for new.
Top boat.
Afro was in green. And one's literally over by tree tank.
Gismo 1 shot oil.
I got nasty. One is on new.
Nice. I have a glide right now. Go mid-stairs, guys.
Don't see
Go double mid-stairs.
One is their heady.
Someone get the pierce so I can glide.
I'm waiting.
I'm gonna glide now. They're mid-step.
Weak to an edge.
Listen, there's a guy.
Well, as the first set of rotations come to a close, it's LAG with a pretty substantial lead right now. Based off those comms, Jay, you can just tell LAG, they have got a plan of attack. They are ready for this game. You see Hook hyping up the teammates, and it was Gunless the majority of the time, calling out everything other than what's actually on his screen. He was letting everybody know where all 4 of those Ravens were at.
Yeah, when you think about this roster, just from veteran experience, I was thinking that Slasher was going to be their vocal leader, but Gunless really stepping up. He even gave a call out where he was like, hey, if you're going to call the guy out top shit, make sure you let me know exactly where he is so I can go out there and pick up that kill. But just the focus from Gunless to go out there and contest that P5 hardpoint, knowing that they had those streaks in the back pocket, they were able to contest a good chunk of time off of this P1. Now with only 15 seconds left, this is where these rotation gunfights go in huge. But Hook on a 5 spree, trying to stay alive, do everything he can from this P1 hardpoint, potentially trying to pick up kill streaks of his own.
That's one of the best signs, partner, right? LAG, they're not just off of the rotation. They're going to beat the Ravens once more toward boat. But at the same time, it's your typical SMG players, granted now with the automatons out, but earning some streaks, right? We saw aBeZy do it earlier. Now it's Hook's turn as he sits at 18 and 13, a major cut that he's going to have to try to watch. A few comms may allow for the Ravens to break on through, and that will look to be successful. They do win the trades off of Afro's double headshots. But Hook 1 kill away there to try to earn that glide bomb. Strafe not currently in play. He gets taken down. A major fight for the Ravens to take as now they get a chance to try to bring this game back.
So now the Ravens only being down 20 points. 20 seconds remaining on this P2 hardpoint. They're already thinking about the next. Number 1, which is going to be 0, already top rank. Just not allowing any LAG players to try to hit the full rotation. But trades going back and forth. Afro able to find 2 in towards the bottom of the hard point. But that's great work once again coming in for the Ravens. This is going to be the first hard point that they're actually going to be able to have spawns for. As soon as this hills pops, they just have to be able to shut down this push from the back.
I want to take a look at player 7. Player 7 and aBeZy, he may have snuck his way through. You can tell Afro not conscious of it, but who's going to spot the other one first? It looks like as if it could be Afro. Has the initial shots that are onto Slasher. He quickly turns around, takes down aBeZy, but with the plays that LAG are making, it's not just one player coming through the backside of jungle. In fact, it was 2. A great coordinated push as now it's all onto aBeZy. A 1v2 inside of the hill. Both players sitting on either side right now of the take. Nasty absorbing the bullets. Around the corner he comes with the pistol, but Nasty's there to shut him down. Solid plays from the Ravens. Again, they were down by a decent amount after those first set of rotations, but they have fought back. Now they find themselves in the driver's seat. And based off the look, or rather where those arrows are going to be, Zero and Afro not only just playing toward beach, but they decide to go for the early rotation. This could be huge right now for London.
And this is exactly what London needed to work on when it comes to their hard point. It's just being at the rotation early enough to where you can at least have the spawns. But when you die of rotation, that is the worst case scenario. So now LAG, they are going to be in the back. Zero trying to play his life in towards his top building, but all of his teammates are dropping. All of his teammates are dropping. Zero cannot make a play here, but him staying alive is going to force the spawn in the back. Now the Ravens have a potential break coming in.
How about the vet? The vet literally waited there for a solid 25 to 30 seconds. You could call it squad spawns, but it's the way the game works, baby. Stays alive, and literally the definition of the vet making the sacrifice there, or the 3-headed beast of the Ravens, as they'll walk away with 3 to start. Close spawns over at Cliff or LAG. Hook gets taken down. We say goodbye to aBeZy as well. And with 20 seconds, maybe some desperation coming in from Gunless, as he'll have to do everything possible to try and limit the seconds right now from London. A great mid-map kill right there from player number 2. That's going to be nasty. He'll transition over at P1. He drops. Slasher doing a great job at taking down the Ravens from this spawn. But taking a look at that next rotation, LAG have got it spread and prepared over at Docks. A full 60 is not going to just be needed. It's going to be necessary at this point.
You see what LAG are trying to do. They're just trying to trap him in towards back P4. You have players pushed up towards top boat. One player watching the overextension. That player on hill is going to be uncontested. But now London able to at least get 1 kill, able to find 2 as well onto aBeZy. Are now able to get some map control. The trade is going to be here. Now they're able to have ship control. So about can he win these gunfights? And now, because the spawns are still coming in from Guerrillas back green.
Huge hill right now for LAG. We talk about just in terms of this game, but really from the outlook of this series, you could call it a must win right now from LAG, and they're doing everything in their power to try to stay down, watch over each other, get those cuts, and make sure the communication is on point. And so far it is. LAG look to take the lead off of this hill, but it's all going to be based off the rotation. aBeZy doing his best to try to lead the way. It's currently going to be LAG with a slim advantage, but it's Gismo lingering inside of the middle of the map. It's great plays overall from the Ravens as they look to try to rebound themselves. Back and forth we go, but it's London locking down the time right now at P1. Some great players established to the middle side of the map. Now it's going to be up to the Guerrillas to try and retake this.
And LAG, they're just attacking both sets of staircases. As aBeZy, he does find 2. Slasher finds 1. So now it's going to be a 1v1 on this point. Gismo has to try to go big. There's a huge one-on-one. He's able to win it. So now Ravens have control. 240 and counting. You just have to stay alive to allow your teammates to eventually get back in this play.
How about the plays from the Røkkr? Both teams can win in here. Now it's Nasty's turn. He takes one out toward the outskirts, but it's LAG still walking away with the time. The Ravens have got to at least try and contest this. Zero's able to take down one onto aBeZy, but it's Slasher who takes down 2 of his own. It's all on Nasty. He gets taken down with the pistol. 242 to 238. Now it's Afro. The constant trades, but they will still work out at the side of LAG. But the Ravens, they contest for just long enough. The Ravens contest, and now they're going to be off the rotation. A current 3 versus 1. LAG with numbers now only a few seconds away. The Ravens have got to break on in. The Ravens will break. The Ravens will break for a moment, but they will not be able to stand tall enough. And the Guerrillas, plan executed, making the comeback off of what was another excellent hardpoint from London. The plan executed, and LAG will walk away with the opening Gavutu.
The game plan was beautiful, man. Just gotta tip it, especially to the coaching staff on that side, man. Bevels and Ricky doing a great job of just knowing the Ravens, how they want to play, how they want to execute. And for LAG, with a team full of veterans, they know we've been rotating for a really long time in hardpoint. We just have to make sure we do it consistently here and win those gunfights. One player that really stepped up had to be aBeZy. This is a guy who's usually running that submachine gun in his hand, but 27 and 19 untraded kills. Picking up those early kill streaks into that map is what allowed them to build such a lead. When eventually you saw the Ravens, they were starting to fight back, but with a great P4 hold and in a great rotation towards that P5 Slasher, he also went big, man. Like 3-piece with the pistol, running around in circles. He was going so deep to not allow the Ravens to win off that P1 hard point. He allowed his teammates to set up off the rotation. They do that, and they were able to close it out. Great game plan, great execution coming in from the Guerrillas.
Yeah, excellent stuff out of LAG. Let's relive a few of those moments once more. Again, one of the better hard points that we have seen this weekend. One of the better hard points that we've seen so far throughout here in Vanguard. But the last few plays, Jay, walk us through it, man. LAG, how did they come away with this?
So it all started off with Gismo. Like, he won the huge one-on-one versus Slasher, but when he drops the hook, you saw that a couple players from LAG, they were just a little closer. But Slasher, he's able to find 2 right here, and then eventually finds a 3rd. Once he does that, it's a 2v1 in the point. If you're Afro, your main job is to try to contest this as long as you can, because there's not that much time left, but Slasher still stays alive. He finds the 4th kill, and with only 7 seconds left, now this is where you have to start thinking about the rotations. London, they were able to rotate it a couple of times, but when you're dying off the rotation, that is what's really going to cost you. Slasher was able to find 1 off the old hill, and aBeZy finds another in towards the ship. Now leaves Zero all by himself in this situation. Once he drops, they know that the spawns are coming in from green. They have the numbers advantage. All you have to do is pick up the kills, and you should be able to close it out. Like I said, man, it was just well-executed game plan coming in from the Guerrillas to take that map number 1.
Wild stuff from LAG. And a team, Jay, where we talked about it, this is a huge series for this roster. They lose this particular matchup here versus the London Royal Ravens today, they guaranteed will have a losing record coming in to our very first major. So big stuff coming out of the gates from the Guerrillas. And what stuff we talked about coming into this series, you know, in terms of Major 1, at least 3 maps that this team has yet to play the regular season. And fair to say, a pretty solid start in Gavutu for the very first time.
Definitely a great start, especially from aBeZy. If he comes out and he's able to slay like that with the AR, if I'm LAG, I'm like, we're playing Gavutu every single series. What have we been doing? But now they're going into a search and destroy on Berlin. We got to watch the Ravens play this yesterday versus Minnesota, and they actually won it in a dominant fashion. Their main attack, their main offensive attack is always just flooding that A site, and that catches a lot of players off guard on the defensive side because you're always putting players to watch that B cross, to watch the middle of the map. So you're not going to always have a majority of the numbers in that advantage every time. So if you're LAG, we know what they can do. I feel like this map relies heavily on how aBeZy plays. When they got 3-0'd by Toronto, he went 2-8 in search and destroy. It's basically a 0.2. Not good. But the last time he was on this map, I'm pretty sure he had like 11 to 12 kills. Just single-handedly was shutting down that B site. So just continue that momentum that you have from the first map going into this map number 2.
Yeah, without a doubt, my friend. And obviously, we're looking at a number of different players. aBeZy to be one of those from LAG, but two guys that we're absolutely looking out for as well coming into this next Berlin are going to be the flex players, right? Gunless versus Gismo. Both of these guys having a fantastic season up to this point. Obviously, you can see the numbers so far throughout Search and Destroy. A 1.2 for Gunless, a 1.52 on the other side from Joey Owen, aka Jay Giz. I mean, what, man? It feels like this has been an excellent series for both of these guys, and it just continues to be the story of Vanguard, right, Jay? The flexes, not just in hardpoint, not just in control, but in Search and Destroy. It just seems to be that those are the playmakers, and so far for both of these teams, that flex role has been living up to the hype.
100%, man. When you're talking about the flex role, like I say every time, if you're that flex player, you're running the best gun on every single map. And both of these guys have been superstars for their rosters. Gunless is able to do it in every single mode. He's the only player over a 1.0 in every single mode. He has tremendous clutch ability when it comes to the Search and Destroy. And then even on the opposite side for Gismo, 1.5, like that's absurd, man. If they've been dominating a lot of these Search and Destroys, just needing him to have that same impact here and try to shut down Gunless.
And, you know, it's fair to say, too, right? LAG, they come into that opening hard point. You know, we're discussing it, saying, hey, kind of an odd plan to play Gavutu. We talk about how they have the Tuscan option if they want, but they want to play Gavutu and for the right reasons. Clearly, they have worked on things. But how do you feel about this LAG team now coming in to Search and Destroy? Just in general, right? They've got one victory in S&D. They are 1-4, I believe, right now on the season, or 1-3 on the season in terms of stage one. Not great right now, but how do you look at this team to make the adjustments? I know you called out aBeZy specifically, but what do you want to see this team do, given the stats, given the figures, differently here on Berlin?
I just need to see quick reactions. Like when someone is on the map, especially if you're the iron player, the guy that's using the sniper, if you are giving the information to your teams, just be quick on the adjustments. And also, if you're LAG, you need to win defenses. You need to come out. Right there, they are 33% at winning defenses, which is dead last compared to London, who are #1 in the defensive setup, 67%. You cannot win Search and Destroys if you're not winning your defenses, but good for LAG. They're starting off on the offensive attack.
They will indeed. We'll see what they can do. Shout out to the stats team. Shout out to Carson. Absolutely killing it when it comes down to the stats. You've got some amazing figures to work off of, and it also helps the team maybe figure out exactly where they are falling short. But as we'll look through the eyes of aBeZy, tossing out some utility, they're over toward Plat. On the opening attack are the Guerrillas, but it's not just going to be some attention over at A. It appears that Gunless is trying to find some info, throws the nade, takes down Nasty, and now it's time for the bomb to go from A over to B.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nasty was super aggressive towards lower dockside, but when Gunless was able to spot him, hit him a couple shots, he finished that kill off with the nade. So the rotation comes in, 4v3 bomb plant, 0, trying to be super aggressive, potentially able to get this player off the site. He does find him, now makes it a 3v3.
We all remember that one play where Zero wasn't able to take down, I think it was a member of OpTic, off of that plant in their series they had previously versus Texas, but plays the aggression. Nice work coming in from Zero. Also Afro shutting down Gunless. These mid-round kills, excellent so far for the Ravens as they look to add on to it that much more. Slasher coming in, shuts down Zero. It's now into the 2 versus 2. And with 16 seconds left, the Ravens have got to make a play. The Ravens have to hop on this. Gismo, realizing such, looks to try to clear out the docks, but he's got no one in his sights. He's got no one to look out for. Afro, final player up. He gets dropped as well. LAG off of that bomb rotation. The early kill from Gunless sets things up, and they've got themselves the first round.
And that's a great route from LAG. Slow and methodical. When you usually start into a Search and Destroy, it's all about spread map. Let's see how they want to go on their very first round. See how aggressive they're going to play, what kind of game plan they're going to hit us with. But when you open up with that first blood, already they have the man advantage. And when it comes down to the 2v2, you saw that Afro the entire time. He was trying to find Hook in the back of the warehouse. But Hook, great heads-up play to just hit that rotation into his bottom library, get a little bit closer to your teammate, and that bomb. So nothing crazy kind of happens. LAG were able to close it out.
Solid start from Guerrillas once more, and it's now actually going to be on the Ravens.
That's done.
Try to change things up. A little bit of a missed stun. It's all good, Afro. It's all good. It's off the sandbag, so he'll be somewhat dazed for a moment. And that actually could slow down the push overall from Ravens. I mean, if he gets some information over at the docks, maybe things change a little bit, but Nasty picking up from the faults of Afro as the Ravens will be able to claim first blood, this time for them. And it could be a similar situation again, Jay, to what we saw in the last round, an A to B last time. Now it could be the Ravens making the site rotation over at A. Only player is going to be here is Hook, and he gets cut down as well.
Yeah, that's tough if you're Hook because all 4 players are just flooding at you. If you were able to get one, that's the best case scenario. But Fortunately, he drops now in a 4v2 situation. You do have Gunless and aBeZy working their way through middle broken. Trying to set up this potential flank, making sure they're checking every single angle. But with aBeZy is clearing this all out, he's going to get the information in. They're definitely pushed out towards the back alley. Got shots coming in onto Gismo. He's able to take down the first. 23 seconds left, still in a 2v3.
Afro takes down Gunless. It's all going to be on to aBeZy. A 1v2 and not a whole lot of time to work with. Got a lot of areas to check in. Over at the office, a great shot there on to Afro, and he'll actually look to try and maybe escape with his life. Knows that the round by no means is going to go his way, and can he pick off Nasty? We're talking about streaks maybe for the future. Does not challenge the right angle, but still sitting on a 3 spree. An excellent attempt there out of aBeZy, but it will be attack once more, seeing some success this time from London. Now we've got ourselves a 1-1.
Yeah, once they open up at that first blood, once again, Nasty was able to find Slasher in towards the bottom middle. Then they all just say, hey, let's team push over towards that A site. Let's win these trades. And once they find down Hook, no one drops 4v2. You get the bomb planted. You should be able to walk away with the round. But if you're aBeZy, that's one hell of a confidence builder. Just find 3, potentially pick up some streaks later into this game.
And aBeZy already off to a great start. I mean, he was the guy in Search Destroy who you said needs to step up. I mean, based off of KD, not a great performance yet. And how about the plays that could be inbound for the Guerrillas? Slasher sees somebody run right into his sights. Gunless, meanwhile, is able to drop Gismo to start things off. So a lot of noise being made over at B, specifically at P2 or Library. And Afro, given the positioning, well, let's try to take advantage of it. Nice long-range shots. Takes down Gunless. So the Ravens are at least able to bring things not to a 3 versus 3, but all that noise made it be, when in reality, it was the Guerrillas at the other site the whole time. Now up to the London boys to try and retake this.
It's looking like they're going to try to attack this from plat side. So all 3 players are going to be pushed up here, but time is starting to dwindle. They're checking every single corner, but the way that LNG is set up, you have the first player, which is the line of defense, which is going to be aBeZy, but the safety net and Hook. Able to spot a player on bomb. Afro does find a kill, and this is where it can get scary because they know the position of Hook. Hook does take down one. He's still on the fuse. He's still on it. He doesn't peek it. And what a great play coming in from London to go out and get that first kill, but then to force Hook to pick up that kill towards the left side and basically body stack on the bomb, knowing that that round was going to be impossible to win if that wasn't the play call. Great heads-up play from London to make such a great play on the fly.
Yeah, and you could tell, like, Hook is trying to balance so many things. He's got somebody running at him over at the train station. And you could tell he had at least an idea that he wanted to try to take down the player on the bomb. But, again, he's looking for visuals. He's looking for information. And with that body stack, it makes things that much more difficult. Great work once more out of the Ravens. Veteran-like plays out of Nasty and Zero there in that 2vx situation, but already off the rip. It's not just going to be Afro, it's going to be Gismo as well, trying to lead the charge here through the street. aBeZy will overall walk away with the advantage. Zero sends the young guns forward, but now it's all going to be on to him.
They walked right into the setup of LAG. Such a great blind counter from them to send multiple players towards that B site. And if you are the Ravens, we saw that they were able to do that same exact push on the defensive side the round previous. Like, they were super aggressive on this B site. But once they were able to get that positioning, if Afro was able to find that first kill onto Gunless, it's probably a totally different round. But when Gunless finds that kill, that allows the player on docks to turn towards the middle of the map, find an easy 2. And then in a 1v3 situation, you got a better chance of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, especially when you're playing against some of these players that are on the LAG side.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. So far, Gismo not off to a great start in this Search Destroy. Sits right now at 0-4. It's been LAG who's been common for donuts, but I don't know. Maybe Gizmo's a little hungry this morning. Maybe skip breakfast. Can't do that. It's important. First match of the day. Got to be eating your breakfast. Got to be ready to go when it comes down to match time. aBeZy, free bomb. Look to try and plant this one down. Got a little bit worried there from the nade, but that plant will be successful. Hook trying to make sure that that warehouse is going to be clear as the Ravens sit firmly right now inside the library. They've done their reading, and now they're ready to come outside and do what they can. Great work from Slasher and Hook to combine for 2. They overall will win the trades, but now it's Gizmo's turn. Walking away with one of the only kills he's got so far, but Slasher is able to take down Giz. It's all on to Zero once more in a clutching situation. Now brings it to a 1v1. Slasher, as the stun comes in, he backs away. He's got the challenge over at the bomb site. Zero thought he was going to be in the doorway, thought he was going to be at the window, and Zero will not be able to get to that defuse in time. Good work from LAG to hide on out. Veteran-like plays as well from the Litigo.
The game plan is just on point right now for LAG. Like right there, they were just committed towards that B bomb. aBeZy, he was able to get away from those nades. Once he dodges those nades completely, once you get that bomb planted, they already had it set up. They had Slash who was watching the total late flank. He was able to find the first kill, and then Hook finds the second. And at that point, on the retake, you're already down in man advantage. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. LAG, they just are getting the job done with their play calling, mid-game adjustments. So far, this has been a great search and destroy from them.
Yeah, it really has. Great stuff so far from the Guerrillas. As London pushing forward over into A. Hook off the gates, takes down 2. And how about the plays from now this guy? Kyler Garland up in the face of the opposition. Zero gets dropped as well. Nasty, at the very least, takes down 1, but he's got the bomb on his back and 3 more players still to try to take on down. Guerrillas are hungry as now they will claim their 4th round. As you said, Jay, this team just seems to have a plan, and you see the little smirk there from Hook going, and he made the biggest difference there in that round.
And we were worried about the defenses, like 33% of winning defenses going up against a team that's #1 in their defensive round wins. So far, LAG, the game plan, everything is clicking right now. Such a great setup from them to go up 4-2 into this game. You can just tell the confidence is on the side of LAG. If they take this map, it gets really scary on the side of London. You really need Gismo to step up, currently on a breadstick.
And once more from LAG. They've done this before, the 2-2 split. Make some noise today. We'll see what aBeZy elects to do. He's going to work based off the information that not only Hook, but Slasher look to try and gain. Hook can establish just a few shots toward Afro, and that may have to be them backing on up. Oof. And Hook will not even have the opportunity. His body gets sent flying. Meanwhile, it's aBeZy inside of the doorway. He's trying to take down the door. Meanwhile, it's Nasty who gets the best of him. Awkward situations going on either side of the map. We've been giving a lot of props to LAG, but this time around, it is the Ravens working off of that game plan. 2 missed opportunities there for the Guerrillas, and that's the time for the Ravens to strike on back.
Yeah, right there, LAG. They just try to set up a 2-2 split right there. When Slash and Hook got taken down at that left side at a bomb, you saw aBeZy. He was just trying to go planet B. Like, let's break the doors. Let's put. We are not going to be in the man advantage. Let's just try to clutch this up. But unfortunately, does not check his corner. He gets taken down, and London, they're able to respond, keep their lives in this game. Currently down 4-3. But now going into the offensive round. If you're London, I want to see their all-out A push. That's where we saw a lot of their success yesterday versus Minnesota. So far, they haven't really shown it here.
Great work from the observers as well to see where those nades land. Slasher cutting down Zero for the first blood. And aBeZy quite comfortable right now inside of the docks as he looks to strike. And a great job at doing so. The bomb now down inside of the docks. And aBeZy also gets some information on where Afro is hiding. He gives the word over to Gunless. And we say goodnight once more to Afro. All on to Gismo. A 1 versus 4. LAG, how about the spot that they find themselves in? As you said, Jay, it just looks like they've come out with a different game plan today. They have prepared. And the Ravens are receiving the repercussions of what a veteran team looks to do when they've got some information as LAG now grab their 5th round and sit on map point.
Yeah, LAG, they just got something to prove in this series, man. They're trying to get that winner's bracket for Major I. The fact that they've shown this much improvement, they're a great hardpoint team, but the fact that they're showing this much improvement in their search and destroy game, it's beautiful, man. Teamwork is on point, crossfires are on point, and even the mid-rounds adjustments are so quick. It's working out beautifully. Now at game point, back on the offensive attack. You see the way that London are going to attack this. They're going to have 3 players pushing up towards this B site. It might be a complete blind counter on the side of London.
We'll see what they look to do. Ravens want to go all out aggressive, and Hook will have to get met with some early shots there from Gismo. Meanwhile, Afro, it's his turn to try and go off as he'll take down 2. It's all up to Slasher instantly. And a 1v3. Ravens frustrated. And they will take out their aggression this time over at the street side. Slasher, a smart guy. Of course, he'll be inside of the library, but with the numbers, with the time sitting the way it is, he's got few things to work off of, but Zero showing the glint for a moment. It's the team support coming through from London overall that take him down. The Ravens still alive.
Just a great blind counter. They tried to do it in one of their previous defensive rounds, but that was the round that LAG sent everyone towards that A bomb. So it didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. So got to go back to what was working before. They go and commit to that. They send 3 players up towards that site. They win a majority of those trades. Afro finds 2. Then in a 1v3 for Slasher, it's not going to be an easy task to get done. London are staying alive into this game, and we called it out early on their offense. We would like to see this A push come in, and right here, this is the commitment.
Yeah, I know you liked a lot of what you saw from the Ravens versus Røkkr on this very site and in this very position on the attacking end. See if they can manage to do similar things. Is it Zero striking early? Not just for 1, but also for 2. Half of LAG drop in a matter of seconds. It's 3 kills in 3 seconds, all on to Gunless. And how about London coming out the way that they have? It is aggression in back-to-back rounds, and it appears we've got a round 11 just moments away. Gunless, a tough task, a hard one at that. They'll look to try to leave and vacate Berlin for now, as we've got ourselves some OT, partner.
And I wonder if Gunless, running off the map right there is going to be able to give LAG the defensive round. Because if you were adding up the kills, it was fairly close between both of these teams. But with neither one of his teammates picking up a kill that last round right there, it probably was so impactful that it's like, hey, let's just get off the map. Let's get another defensive round. This time we'll switch it up. But here we go into a round 11. They're actually going to be on the offense, and this is better for them because 33% win rate on the defensive side is not going to be the best case scenario, but it's going to be the bomb going towards this B site. Nasty's going to have a huge part to play here. He can pick up 1.
Brought that to 28 HP. He has to back on up. LAG going back to what worked in the early stages of the game. A more methodical, slow-paced push. But the problem right now for LAG, it is not going to get easy. It's not going to be easy, rather, to cross this street. You're going to have to look more than just both ways before crossing. You have to be aware of the utility that can be tossed over as well. 1 crosses the street. Zero puts in some bullets. Another one tries to cross the street. Zero can't take him down. Nasty tosses out the nade. And Asim's able to escape. He escapes with 12 HP. Alive to be able to plant the bomb. And now it's all going to be on the Ravens to try and retake this. A current 3 versus 4 as Afro falls.
Gunless finds the first. 35 seconds left. You have 2 players from London who are attacking this from low docks, but this setup from LAG cannot be any more perfect. Time is starting to dwindle. Gismo's in a great position, though, to try to be a playmaker, but Slasher does have the crossfire. Gunless finds 1. Slasher able to take down Gismo. Now, Nasty, last player up. LAG are able to clutch up in the final round to close it out and now go up 2-0 in this series, and that was such a beautiful play from them. The fact that Asim was able to just finesse his way around that bomb site, 16 health, like you pointed out, Lando. 16 health. The guy lays down and commits towards his plan because he knows there's not a single player of the Ravens that are pushed up towards this B bomb. We get this down. We had the setup that we want. We should be able to close out the round, and that's exactly what they do. Great adjustments coming in from LAG. Like I said from the beginning of this series, man, their game plan is on point.
No, and I couldn't agree more, Zeno. The competition right now, it is unbelievable in the CDL. As the Guerrillas shocking everybody. Like I said, the Ravens, they're coming into this series. They're feeling good. They're trying to be the first team to start things off here in this season with a 4-0 record. And the Guerrillas, off of a big loss in their last series versus the Ultra, they are taking it now to the EU boys. They want some revenge, and so far, they have got exactly that. Some big plays going down in the late moments from the veterans. They walk away with the Gavutu, and they get the job done here on Berlin Search and Destroy. As we said, Jay, LAG, Search and Destroy, it has not treated them nicely so far. I was looking at my notes to see how many wins they've got. It's 1. They've got 1 Search and Destroy win. Now they've got themselves 2 versus one of the best teams in the game. If that does not get you excited, I don't know what will. But folks, it is LAG up 2-0. Are the Guerrillas about to walk away with a victory like this, or can we see the Ravens try and pull off something special? It's not going to be an easy task, but everything is going to be tested when we come back on this next Gavutu Control.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
We're in a very different position from that we were in 10 weeks ago. We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago. We are far better prepared to endure the worst malice.
You know, I'm gonna understand. I wanted to play this bad for a long time.
Built the potential to get his revenge on Los Angeles Thieves.
Tyler did just once already. That team ended up winning the first game in the CDL.
And all the fans and people are seeing what he can do. So as long as he just keeps that pumping, I mean, he's the top player in the game, without a doubt. He's one of the best players in the game.
Make this play. 40 goes on the B zone. This could be massive. Running on the top right. Asim is reeking his way through the spawn there. It'll be an exit again. This is from a sequence. Dom is there and he catches the flanker inside. Oh, there you go. And see exactly what Slasher is doing. He's away still. Los Angeles Guerrillas. Jeffers hold it back line. He's of players here. Peekaboo, I've been here the whole time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what has already been a very interesting CDL Sunday. It is our final our final day of week 2 here at our Major I Qualifiers. It is the Guerrillas going up right now against the Ravens, and to everybody's surprise, except if you're an LAG fan, they find themselves up 2-0, but with arguably one of the biggest tests for this team still up next. Jay, Control, it's not been great for this team so far, but the one guy who has not seen any of those issues is Asim.
Yeah, aBeZy sitting at a 1.23. This is his best game mode when you talk about all three. And on the opposite side, Gismo at a 1.28. This guy was able to put up insane numbers. 80% non-traded kill percentage.
That's wild.
That's an insane stat, man. Between both of these guys, man, even 74 for aBeZy. Both of these guys are really hard to kill in this game mode. But when you're taking a look at how the series has went so far, when you think about this London roster, before the series started, they had all 4 players top 10 in overall KD.
Yeah.
Right now, they have not a single player over 1.0, and every single player on the side of LAG, they're all over a 1.0.
Yeah.
Even one player that's sitting at a 1.0, which is Gunless. That's completely throwing me off, because Gunless is the guy that's usually going insane for this roster. He's basically got his feet kicked up, and they're dominating this series. Great work coming in from LAG so far, but job not done yet.
Yeah, without question, job still not done, but the focus, as it continues to be, is going to be on to aBeZy. I know I called him Asim earlier. We still don't 100% know. You could really go back and forth if you'd like. We'll go with aBeZy. We'll go with aBeZy for now. One thing too, Jay, I know it is Super Bowl Sunday. Thing to keep in mind, Cronky Sports Entertainment, they actually own the LA Guerrillas. They're also, right, owners of the LA Rams. They're going to be the Super Bowl later. Maybe they're embracing some of that fire, some of that spirit. Who exactly knows? Not the greatest way to start off if you're gunless, but at the very least, LAG up 2-0 right now versus the undefeated London Royal Ravens. And so far, Jay, as you called it, it has really been a different game plan for LAG here off the rip.
You see they have an early pressure on this 8 point. If you're LAG, you want to contest this. You're already down 3 lives. You just want to be able to pick up a couple kills, but London right now, they have a lot of positioning on the map. They're able to pick up at least 2, as till Gunless is able to find 2 of his own. But Slasher able to take this last player off of that 8 point, not able to complete that second tip aggression. You're going to see There's a little attack coming in at this B point at 0. He's able to take that one on that side of the map too, so they're pressuring both of these points.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Some great pressure coming in right now. What? Okay.
Oh no.
That is not good at all. That is not great. I had no idea how we didn't take him down. Put a few bullets in there with the pistol, try to get the body whack. That didn't work out either. Ravens second tick now gained over at A. Meanwhile, it is going to be a 1v1 over at P1. Luke's able to establish that fight for himself, but how about Gismo? Again, a guy that we continue to talk about, some of the greatest numbers in control, holds the #1 KD in control right now here at Major I. Putting in some good work toward the top side of the boat. Meanwhile, it's his good old SMG duo, good old Barkas, aka Afro, doing the work over at the beach side. A point captured for London, another minute on the clock, and boy, do they have numbers, lives right now in their advantage.
Yeah, man, a minute 45, you're up by 9 kills. This is going to be a difficult task for LEG to try to get done, but aBeZy, he's able to sneak his way in through that ringside. This could cause problems for a couple players on the side of London coming off spawn. He's able to take down Gismo. Gunless does find 0. So now these last 2 players from the Ravens approaching the back. Nasty's able to take down Hoop. So now they potentially are going to be set up for a back push through green. But look at aBeZy. He's influencing these spawns to allow them to overextend through ship. They should be ready to read this.
And Zero, as he goes toward the top gun. aBeZy, great trigger discipline to take down the first. As the Ravens have established themselves quite nicely inside of the base. So this is great work right now from London. As they'll look to try to maybe go for the stack. They're not super confident right now in the setup, as Afro is at least able to take down 1. Again, 16, make it 16-4 in lives already for LAG. The pressure continues to get piled on right now from London. Just moments away from what it feels like a round victory. As they're already halfway at B, lives continue to trickle away. And as Hook will be the last player alive. I mean, that is huge, partner, when we talk about London not just walking away with the opening attack, but if it does go to that round 5, they already have a 15 live advantage.
Yeah, that was dominant from the Ravens to come out in their very first offense and take it in such a dominant fashion that they did. Like you said, 15 kill advantage. They were able to get that 8 point with basically 15 seconds into the round. They were able to extend that time by a minute, already have a 9 live advantage. But then the plays come in where you see 2 players were approaching the backside. They were able to set up the pinch. And then even before that, when Zero was able to pop that 2-piece when he was single-handedly on that B point, he was able to get the first tick of progression, which made the job a lot easier.
Well, London down 0-2 overall. A great statement round off the rip here in the attacking side. Gonna have to require a lot of communication, some teamwork on this side for them to try to bring back this control and try to bring it back in this series. Let's see how the comms sound. Let's go to a listening with London.
Okay, there's 2 boat, one cliff.
Point outside right side.
Already take the time it.
No top.
Nice.
I'm trying to copy one.
And then it's somewhere, watch out.
He's got me, Slasher weak. Second,
I don't see him.
Yeah, he was just on the second, bro.
They know very.
Torch left cross. Nate top right boat with me.
Yeah.
Low boat, aBeZy.
Nice. Weak top right boat.
Looking for the flash. I need to reload, give me a sec. Boat, gunless.
Gunless dead.
This is Slasher still. Nice, Marcus.
Yo, we'll continue right,
go left.
One shot there, below right.
Marcus,
One shot P1,
I needed your cliff, watch out.
P1's open, boys. Stay 8.
I'm getting it.
Minimum. I can wrap
on me. Yeah, tell me you got it, Joey.
From P4.
Alright, tank. aBeZy weak. Alright, tank.
Coming over, Joe.
Green tank. I'm going P1.
He's in front of the tower. Front tower, aBeZy. Front tower got me. He's pushed out back tower straight away.
Yeah, I'm leaving him. I'm flanking the guy on B.
I've got P1 now. Give me a sec.
On B, dead.
Oh, no. He's coming in cage to wait.
Yeah, heard you. I'm going A. Now I'm pinching it again.
Cage is from broken.
Top broken, one shot. Right, listen. Work together.
Yeah, that's just top clip.
Well, only moments still remaining in this round. Possibly LAG just hop on the clock there, hop on the point to stop the clock, rather, at 2 and some change. Nasty with the big 1v1. He loses that. And finally, the Guerrillas able to see the objective and maybe put themselves with another minute on the clock. We'll see if the Ravens look to try and aggress this. It appears that they will not. They will finally hand that one over to London. But Jay, you told me right there in the listening there with the London Royal Ravens. Does not sound like a team that's down 0-2 at all.
Yeah, I love listening to those comms right there, because usually when you're down 0-2, especially with how the two maps have gone, 6-5, round 11, very down to the wire, hard point, like you would sense that there would be a little bit of frustration. But the Ravens, they're calm, cool, and collected. It's such a young team. They said, hey, we're not out of this. And just based off of the way that they attacked that first round, they're just all about their business. Now, with 35 seconds left, they just have to hold this push from aLLeY at least once. Shut down this back push right here, and they should be able to close out this round. But aLLeY, they're far from done in this series. I know that, I mean, the Ravens, they're far from done, because aLLeY, they're currently up 2-0. If the Ravens can come out and win this map right here, they're going into a Berlin hardpoint where they're really confident at.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Some great plays there from Zero. Nearly turns on to the second. Would have been a nice double kill there on the hook, but as we said, up majorly in terms of lives after that first round, 15 to be exact. aLLeY, the final push over here at B. They're aware of the lives. They're aware of the situation, a current 3v3. They look to try and aggress things, but London will hold on their own defensive side. Again, the Ravens, you can just tell, man, they just seem a little bit frustrated. I mean, as we called it, they don't seem like a team that's down 0-2. They just seem to be firing. Specifically, that man in the top right, Afro, I don't know what it is, man. You think like with an SMG, you think in a player of his pace, he'd get caught out on Gavutu, but it just is not at all the case for this guy. Drops the opening Gavutu hardpoint, but he is firing right now with this control. Some great plays covered in from this man. Yeah, 21 and 10. 21 and 10.
He's going off, and usually don't see this out of an SMG player who is playing these big maps. He, for some reason, really enjoys Berlin and Gavutu, which are not as small as Tuscan and Bocods. It doesn't really make sense, but this is what allows him to be a playmaker. He's able to sneak his way all the way up the ring. Fortunately, he's going to give up his positioning with those shots here, but should find this kill onto Gunless. Does get traded by aBeZy. And this has so far been a great hold coming from aLLeY. Last player here is going to be Gismo. They take him down. Then they're going to be fully set up. They can put Ravens in a trap and potentially get back in this kill column.
Yeah, you can see, right? On the bottom left of your screen over on the mini-map, player 5, player 8, they've got the crossfires set up. One of them does end up getting taken down, that being Slasher, but nonetheless, aLLeY still looking to apply the pressure. Some nice work there putting in from Hook, as he'll at least gain some intel on where the push looks to be going right now from the other end. But as Afro jumps on it, this could be huge. This could be great right now for the Ravens if they're able to take down this third player. Nice plays from Slasher. He also gets out of dodge. So with 20 seconds left, you're thinking from the Ravens side, they have got to get something done. Not a whole lot of kills have been happening toward either side, but the ones that have been incredibly impactful. At 8.6 seconds, London finally bridge the gap. They finally make their way on to the point. Nasty wins a big 1v1, quickly traded out from Gunless. The clock continues to roll in London. They've got to do something about it. They've got to get somebody on the objective, but Slasher answers back with one of his own. Down to 0, aLLeY respond back the best way that you'd like them to. They're on the defense.
Yeah, aLLeY, they wish that they can get their very first defensive round back, man, because it's not easy to win offense on a Gavutu control. They're able to respond there. Now they just have to go into this attacking round. We saw the pressure that London were able to put on them, not even allowing them, you know, to have a majority of these lives advantage when they get that 8 point. It's not going to be streaks on either side. Your aLLeY, your main focus has to be getting this 8 point, but Gunless and Slasher on the 2 and 3 speed can potentially pick up some streaks that can open that B point wide open.
Yep. You're a newer fan looking for 7. That's gonna be the magic number, as Slasher is now gonna sit on 4. His AR duo and Gunless does get taken down off of his spree, so now it's all gonna come down to Slasher. In terms of earning these streaks, that could be big for this round specifically, and depending on how that round 5 goes. I know we're talking about lives. Maybe aLLeY that has to do it in back-to-back attacking grounds as the fight continues to brew over at the ship. Meanwhile, it's Zero making his full-on wrap to the back of the base. aLLeY pushing forward, but they're going to have to be aware of the flank that currently seems to be going down. Some good coordination as Zero falls. It is overall the Ravens that do get cut down regardless of it. Some solid plays, some solid ideas, but aLLeY continue to respond. They continue to show off the grit. And this roster has got still brewing halfway now at that A objective.
You can just tell that the communication right now is flowing for aLLeY. The fact that they read that player on Zero, going all the way through that late flank, such a great read to come in from Slasher, which eventually allows them to get fully set up on this 8 point. aBeZy still causing problems toward Green, trying to hit the crazy jump shots with the rat. Unfortunately, the clip doesn't enter the pistol. not able to pick up that kill, but with Slasher winning that huge one-on-one, should be able to close at this point. He also finds another Slasher having himself a map, trying to close it out in this game number 3.
It takes 3 players from London to take down Slasher. My goodness. You can just tell, as we said, LAG, they've got some confidence that one round. They have just done it for them, as now it's Hook's turn. Nearly turns on to second, but now it's going to set up aSimp to possibly go for the trade. The great teamwork up close for London will at least spoil the push off the start from LAG. Minute and 25 on the clock. And what a round it could be for the Guerrillas to send us toward that round number 5, as P1 looks to get cleared out right now from Gismo.
And look at Zero. Zero's in a great position to cause problems on the side of LAG. They eventually take care of him. But still a lot of time being wasted. Only a minute left. Slasher trying to do everything that he can. 24 and 19. Pushing directly up the middle of the map. He's actually going to find an opening. Zero does spot him, but Slasher can potentially pick up this kill in the back. Zero should get traded before he takes down Slasher, but he kills him in a bullet. So now you have the Ravens who have ring control. You have a couple players from LG throughout the backside. Can they set up this French?
Oh, and how about Gunless? How about Gunless? He takes 2 down. Slasher will take 1 down onto Gismo. They're aware of where that final player is going to be, and now it's time for the stack. It could be time for the stack for the Guerrillas. 2 players on the point, while Gunless looks to watch over the rest of them. Actually, Afro tosses out the nade. That's going to take down Hook. Nobody from LAG. Currently on the objective, as that one's going to remain vacant. They're going to look for the kills. They look for the kills in this position, and you could not debate them about it. Slasher shuts down Afro with the nade, and now it's Zero from the top. It's nasty from the other side. A current 4v8. aSimp gets dropped through the tank. 4v7. And with 25 seconds left, it could come down to player 5. Take a look at Hook.
Hook's able to make his way to the back. Afro's not going to spot him, so he should be able to pick up this kill with ease. But Afro, great shots, able to take down Hook. Now 15 seconds remaining. LAG, they need to try to put it on him. But London, they are holding. They're able to find all 4 kills, and London should be able to close it out here.
It looks good. It looks good for Hook. Can it get to the point in time? No, he gets wiped away, and the Ravens. How about the comeback? That round 4 had LAG's name written all over it. They could feel the overtime. They could feel the round 5 being pushed. But that one kill, Jay, from Afro, that to me at least turned the tide. His ability to turn around there toward the back red tower, that kill in particular spoils the push for the Guerrillas. It spoils the flank. And just like that, the Ravens are now back in this series.
Oh man, and if you're Hook, you didn't have a good map, but that one kill would have at least forced it to go to that round 11. Now you're going into a map 4 at London. They love to play this map. Both of these teams actually really enjoy playing Berlin Hardpoint. So it's going to be an all-out battle between both of these rosters on that map. But that one's got to stink for LAG. You let go of the early defensive round, get outslayed by 15 kills. Basically, is not going to be successful even if you get in towards the later rounds, because if London were able to secure the defensive attack, then that would have been, you know, basically wraps right there. Put the bow on it. But now that London are able to stay alive in this series, LAG are going to have a little bit more pressure on their back. They're great at rotating. We saw it on that map number 1, but this is where London, they're able to use that ability of breaking hard points. They're number 1 in the league currently. This is where they can take advantage and force that game 5.
Yeah, and if we're talking about, you know, stereotypes or at least what's typical for both of these teams, I mean, that felt like a typical map. Not just for the Ravens, but for LAG as well, right? We talked about the constant struggles that the Guerrillas have faced. They've lost all 3 control games so far throughout our stage 1 major qualifier. All of them have been in round 5. Granted, this one ends in 4. But the primary talking point, Jay, around LAG has been Hook's performance. Sits at like a 0.77 KD in control. Obviously, nearly goes double negative in this particular control as well. I know we talked about the Guerrillas, a different game plan, but when it comes down to the control, not at all the same story. And I don't know, where does the concern level now get granted if you are the LA Guerrillas? Obviously, they're great in the first 2 maps. They're able to rebound in the close situations, but a control loss there. We're now getting ready to see another respawn specifically on Berlin, where you talked about it. Ravens excellent versus Minnesota yesterday, despite not rotating. How do you feel about that same game plan strategy from the Guerrillas, considering that map looked a lot more like them so far throughout the Major I qualifiers?
This one kind of scares me because LAG, just based on the Massimos that we have, this is where they need to be able to close out this series. They need to be able to close it out in 4, because if they get to that Bocage S&D, which is that game number 5, I mean, the Ravens, they only have 1 rep on it, and it was a 6-5 all the way versus OpTic. There's so much that you can take away from that. But on the opposite side for LG, they have yet to play it. So it's kind of worrying now because your game plan worked out flawlessly. You come out, you take the map number 1, you take the search and destroy. You put yourself in a great position to take that map number 3, but when you're losing the very first defensive round by 15 kills, to try to fight back into that, even with them possibly closing out that last round of who picks up that kill, you still would have been on the all-offensive attack. Probably still ends up at this map 4.
Yeah, it does.
They just have to make sure that they're slaying and holding down their hard points. The money hills are going to be the P3s, because P4, you're not really going to get a chunk of time. But the P3s, when you're early set up, you have to make sure you get there. If you're spawning towards top P1 on top plat side, that means you're initially getting to that hard point first. You're going to be able to start off with at least a good 10 to 15 uncontested. If the kills are going in your favor, just think about the rotation, because the Ravens, they're not thinking about it. They're just thinking about, hey, we're going to head bash the hill, we're going to win our gunfights, and we're going to break it, make it look easy.
Yeah, you can tell, like, this London Royal Ravens team, obviously off the interviews that we've seen from them as well, they just are a confident bunch without question. And now coming in to this next hard point, we're talking about a few top performers so far throughout the season. It's obviously going to be Slasher from the opposite side. We've talked about aBeZy, we've talked about Gunless. Now it's time for the vet, Austin Liddicoat, a 1.10 KD so far here in a hard point throughout our Major I qualifiers. And again, we continue to talk about the man, the legend that is Gismo, a 1.15 KD in hard point for him. And I know, Jim, we talked about a number of different things, right? Players to look out for, things to keep in mind. Gismo, without a doubt, is going to be one of those players that you are keeping in mind. But right, it has to be this idea. Again, it's all about the rotations. Like I said, versus Minnesota yesterday, I forget who tweeted it out, and my apologies for that, but I know the desk touched on it. I know aLLeY specifically was mentioning it. Minnesota won 9 out of the 9 rotations and still lost 250 to like 138. That was still not enough. Now coming into this next Berlin, we can talk about players all we want, but specifically being in the position, if you are LAG, I mean, from your perspective, I know it's kind of hard to call. How do you hold off a team that is not rotating, still yet seeing so much success from their slang side?
You just have to make sure that your setups are exactly what you need them to be. When no one is dying off the rotation, that's the perfect way to start into a hard point. When you have the crossfire set up, even if trades are going down back and forth, as long as you're winning a majority of those gunfights towards the backside, towards the spots that are going to influence the spawns, that is where they need to put their main focus point on. But here we go into this map number 4. We're going to have the Ravens actually spawning on top plat side. So it's going to force LAG to try to break in from bottom train. Nasty able to find the first aBeZy with the nade, but so far an early 10 to 15 seconds going in favor of the Ravens.
Yeah, and not only did we talk about the Ravens liking Berlin, seeing a lot of success, especially yesterday versus the Røkkr in the midst of really not a ton of rotation fight victories for them. Also, LAG, they have liked Berlin a decent amount as well. So far 2-0 here at our Major I qualifiers on this map. A team that struggled mightily on this map over at the Kickoff Classic. They turned things around mightily coming into online play. And that was one of our keys to victory. Both these teams in favor of this map, and we'll see if LAG can continue to make the adjustments as the first hill done and dusted. Nice little 10+ point advantage for LAG off the start, but now it's all about the rotations at Library.
Nasty does find the first kill, but Gunless and Hoop, they're able to find 2 of their own. Trades going back and forth for this point. aBeZy wins a huge one-on-one, so now the spawns are going to be flipped. This is the best case scenario right now if you're LAG. You can find a couple kills here, hold on this tam, and keep the spawns. Oh! Unfortunately, aBeZy is going to meet the 2-piece of Nasty, and that's going to be London able to break in from the backside. 40 seconds left. LAG, if you're here, you just want to contest this lead once or twice, but make sure you think about those spawns, as number 3 in Gismo is already thinking big picture.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Nasty
they traded,
mashing toward the bottom side. And yeah, we actually do see a trade. Interesting spot there toward the street. So a few interesting kills going down inside of Library. Meanwhile, on the outside of this bad boy objective, it's some interesting fights now going the way of what could have been aBeZy. How about that shot coming in from Afro and Zero, as they will lock up spawns for next. I mean, one of our money hills, the fact that it comes down to a little 1v1 in which that LAG player just nearly gets around the corner, it's got to be big. But the Guerrillas hot on the attack already. They are already going to be inside of bottom fire. Winning a few of these fights, that's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in their favor. Now it's up to Zero to try and go big. One of the players spawns out, and because of that, Guerrillas rush on in, and now they have got early time at one of the best hard points here on Berlin.
Such a beautiful break coming in from aLLeY. It all starts with Gunless finding that opening kill from the front side. And then they were able to put 3 players in towards fire, win those gunfights, block the back spawn, and eventually take control. Now with about 30 seconds left, this has just been great work from aBeZy. Look at this guy, 25 seconds. He's off the rotation. This is going to completely throw the Ravens off guard, even though they do find 3 in towards the old hill. With aBeZy in this position, he's going to allow his teammates to spawn back alley, which should make it a lot easier off the rotation.
And you can see, right, the Ravens, their arrows, Jay, they were looking specifically at the top left of our map. They were like waiting. They're ready to set them up in a spawn trap. Little did they know, aBeZy already toward the other side as they will spawn, like you said, toward that back alley position. Now it's actually gonna be up to 0. He actually gets dropped there from Slasher. Great work coming through from the vet. The automaton in his hands. He takes down 0 in what could have been a great spot for the Ravens to try and set up a pinch. How about the utility tossed early? Hook now to the backside of P2, a common angle for where the opposition can come from, but that is anything but common. Some great shots coming through. They're out of Hook, as that's going to be 4 down in the feed for London. Spawns fully aware if you are the aLLeY side, up by 50 points, and that lead only looks to get extended as Gismo's at least able to find 1 in train, and now the potential break from London.
aLLeY have been holding this hard point down to the T. Usually do not see a lot of successful holds on P4, but when you're shutting down every single wave of kills on the side of the Ravens, it's going to be super easy. They're able to put themselves up by 70 points now. Still with 5 seconds remaining on this hard point, they're just thinking so far ahead of the game right now. Catching the Ravens late on rotation is the reason why they're able to blow this lead wide open. But now it comes down to this P5 hard point. aLLeY, if you are them, you just cannot allow the Ravens to get back into this game with a good chunk of time here.
And how about Slasher, by the way? Starting things off at 17 and 7. Obviously highlighted for a great KD so far in hardpoint throughout the Major I qualifiers, but he's playing great. Now it's 17 and 8 as he gets taken down. The primary reason why aLLeY find themselves with a sizable advantage with just 1 more hill remaining on our first set of rotations. Nasty trying to clear things out through middle. He'll be successful in that venture, but when we talk about P5 on Berlin, it can be some scrappy seconds. London keeping in mind the score, keeping in mind everything. They're trying to hunt for every single second that they can get. Nasty now sitting on fort, trying to turn his game around. That's now going to be 5 for him. 2 more for streaks, and that could be big for the Ravens as they are down majorly, 70 points. As we will refresh rotation, start things back off at P1. Now make it 6 in a row for Nasty. Byron Plumridge.
Yeah, the guy's going crazy right now. If he can pick up these streaks, this could be huge. Going into that P3 or even P4 hardpoint. You don't want to use it when it comes to that P2, but now down 60 points. You see the full wrap coming in from Gunless, able to take that player out from fire. So now they have the man advantage on the break. aLLeY, they're gonna pinch. They're gonna be able to win a majority of these gunfights, and with 35 seconds left, they're able to break in. This has been such a textbook hardpoint coming in from the vets, making a statement here.
Absolutely making a statement, as that's now going to be aBeZy sitting on 3 in a row. Ravens, you could feel the sense of urgency as Nasty again able to take down 2, and we'll see if that makes enough of a dent. The SMGs continue to slay. They continue to be aware, but it's Gunless who wins the fight, and they will walk away with the final 10 seconds of scrap points. London, off the rip, are going to be in control of our next hill, and boy, do they need a full 60 here. And now aBeZy again with the early kills off of these spawns. 16 and 10. Can he find another one? He slides right into the fight, shutting down Gismo. The rest of his teammates will now join alongside of him. aBeZy now with 3, breaking these hills by himself. The teammates have provided the support, but without this man leading the ship, guiding the helm, it would not be successful, as that's now going to be 4 in a row. Slaying still going down, but aBeZy now on a 5 spree. Moments away from streaks, and you feel like it's just a matter of time. You feel like it's a matter of time. He's hunting this one down. He wants the streaks. He'll take down 0 for the 6, but can it be the 7? Is it time for the glide bomb? He runs out of ammo. Gunless takes him down. And my word, aLLeY, aBeZy specifically, on a heater. The Ravens finally get a moment to breathe as Afro tries to make a play for spawns at fire.
And now, see the Ravens, they have to try to break these spawns. You cannot allow aLLeY to set up, but Slasher and aBeZy are able to find 2. So now if you're Nasty, just play your life in fire. You're the player that's going to open this wide open, as you have a couple players trying to set up for the pinch from the front side. Gismo able to find 2 on the street. Gunless does find one in the front, but a majority of these trades going in favor of the Ravens. Spawns are still going to be here for LAG. If they can pick up a couple of these kills and try to potentially break out of this, this is the best case scenario. But the pitch is going to be here. aBeZy with the pistol, able to take down one. Trades are going to be here by Hoop. Last player is going to be Zero. He gets traded, and once again, LAG, they keep control of the spawns. They keep control of the point, and with 25 seconds left, if they can hold the remaining of this time, they should be able to break that 200-point mark.
Yeah, Jay, I mean, like I said, this is series-defining time right now.
Yes.
This is big seconds right now from London as they make the break in a situation where they absolutely have to. But now it's time for the rotation, and we're going across the map. But how about the veteran-like plays from aBeZy sitting in the street? An uncommon angle. Nearly gets met with some shots from Afro, as Zero will at the least be able to pick him up. Also takes down Hook as well. So some progress being made toward the top side of your map from Zero. Specifically, the Ravens doing what they can to try to break through the backside of the spawns. It's still aBeZy and Slasher winning the fights toward the front, but as Zero now makes somewhat of a dent toward the back, it is still going to be a headbutt right now at the train station. Ravens right now with numbers as they'll push in 3 strong. Gismo Nasty actually ends up taking down his own teammate, so that will weaken the forces overall. LAG now with the time. Back and forth we go.
Wow.
But because of that team kill, it will be punishment once more. Guerrillas inside of the time.
220 and climbing. LAG are finding every single kill in the feed. They push out the spawns. Now they flipped them to now spawn all of Ravens towards that back warehouse and said, hey, you want this 14? We're not going to give you this 14 as aBeZy is hitting shots like that. 29 and 14. We asked for the guy to have an answer after the series that he had last week, and he has so far answered the call. 141 to 228. Now it's time to set up for this P5 hardpoint, and they're already here as Hook does find another 2 in the feed.
Hook looking for a spree of his own. Oh my goodness, the quickest of reactions. Never stood a chance. Nasty will never be the same. 145 to 236. London, what can they do? What can they do when the Guerrillas are playing at a level like this? Gumless trying to apply some pressure from the back, and London sweat off the brow situation. A moment to breathe, a moment to try and compose themselves. But right as they do that, of course, it's Slasher, it's Hook. It's a 3-for-1 trade once more from the Guerrillas. One more player to deal with. We say goodnight to Gismo, and we could say goodbye to this series. We could say goodbye to the winning streak from the London Royal Ravens. Zero tries to challenge. It's all on to Afro. The 1v1. It's going to be granted from LAG. And say goodnight to your pick'ems. Say goodbye to the win streak of London. LAG come out on this CDL Sunday and shock the world. A 3-1 victory, a series that we said was necessary for that Major I tournament. And my goodness, what a performance and what a turnaround that they have. Lose versus the Ultra in a 3-0 just days ago. They come in now versus the other EU side, one of the best teams in the game, and they beat them in 4.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable out of LAG, a team full of vets who are just coming off of such a tough loss versus the Ultra. They got 3-0, like the maps weren't even close. The fact that they came in with such a great game plan today to not only win in the vetoes and win in the maps and modes, like just to win in the bans, everything was going in their favor, man. They came out off the rip with that Gavutsu hardpoint. They have yet to play that as a team, but they know that the Ravens' weakness has to be on the rotation. They're always late. They're always relying on breaking on into the hill when they're not there off the rip. And then when they get to the search and destroy, that was the biggest adjustment for me, because the Ravens, they looked great on this map yesterday. They were able to win it 6-2 versus Minnesota, but what LAG were able to do so well was when they got that first blood, they were immediately had the game plan where they wanted it to be. They were not hesitant on the rotations, not hesitant on their play calls, and when you have a bomb planner who's willing to risk his life the way aBeZy did that round 11 to give his team the advantage and close it out, huge plays from them. I know they let the controls slip, but the fact that they came out in this map number 4 versus a team like the Ravens who really enjoyed this one, win a majority of those rotations and just dominate this game from start to finish, LAG have made a complete turnaround from when we saw them from Toronto.
And the best thing, right, about this WJ, for the Guerrillas is not only will they have the chance of having that winning record coming into Major 1, but this is what we thought this team could be. When we came into the season, there was a lot of people talking about how this team, they could crumble early, but there is no doubt the potential that this roster has. And they just seem to be doing exactly what the analysts, what you have said, what aLLeY has said, what Nameless have said. They have been doing, at least in this series, what we thought that they had the potential to do, to come in and to be one of those rosters that can come through and upset some top caliber teams. That winning streak no longer intact from the London Royal Ravens, as aBeZy and the crew from LAG walking away with the big dub. Desk, my goodness, what a way to kick off CDL Sunday. We thought that we've had some crazy matchups so far. How about this upset, Bell?
No, that was really nice, man. Do we even call it an upset, man? Take a look at the team over there. The boys from LA were beating on their chest, and they got a really big win out of that, making a statement. And Nameless, looking at this roster, you said last time we were on screen, actually, you looked at aLLeY now, you said, this team is going to be nasty, right?
He did.
Now look at them, beating the London Royal Ravens, a team that was looking like one of the best in the CDL.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-0 headed into this. They were unbelievable on hardpoint. Search and Destroy was looking good. Like, they were looking good everywhere, and everybody individually was playing well. Well, what happened today? They ran into an LAG team that has hardpoint down pat. These guys are now 6-1 in hardpoint. But you know what the biggest difference was today, aLLeY? Was the Search and Destroy. LAG have fixed so much in Search and Destroy. They clearly did their VOD review. Like, they were hard countering London in a lot of those rounds. Now, it did come down to the wire, but you saw that play that they made at the very end of Search and Destroy. They knew exactly how they wanted to execute that. Everybody played perfect on LAG throughout that search.
Right, and speaking about Search and Destroy, I mean, aLLeY, you were so impressed with what we saw.
No, absolutely. LAG, that was the game mode they needed to fix. In hardpoint, they had the slaying power. They were struggling a bit on rotations, but they were still winning. But it was Search and Destroy where they really kept getting knocked down by these top teams, and to come out against London Royal Ravens, who have been looking so good in Search and Destroy. It was a lot off of Slasher's first bloods, at least for me. I felt like the second Slasher beamed somebody across map on Berlin. That was it. All of LAG got the green light to fly forward. They were catching London off guard. They were playing aggressive, and it was a great overall showing out of them.
Yes, and speaking about LAG, let's go ahead and jump into a Game Fuel post-victory spotlight interview with none other than the team who has been tearing it up since that New York game. My man, how you feeling right now? Congratulations on the big win, but I have an honest, real big question for you. Now, as your team is starting to, rile up some momentum with these wins, what is something that you guys have gotten better with to really lead you to this point? Because the chemistry seems better and the energy with the team just seems a lot better as well.
Yeah, like I said in my previous interview, I just think we all are super experienced and we know what we're doing. We just got to make sure that we stick to the same page and make sure we're accomplishing what we do in practice. And if we can do that, it'll be super clean. Now I think the next step is just to focus on control, and we should be a top contender in no time.
Absolutely, I completely agree. I feel like you all proved that with this series. Asim, I gotta ask you, man, you seem so much more consistent and so much more comfortable on the map this year. I mean, you have been dropping straight bombs, going on streaks, and whenever your team is down and out, you're kind of the guy keeping everybody in there. Are you kind of being a shot caller for this team right now?
Yeah, a little. I think over the years, I finally got to learn what I need a shot call, and sometimes it works like a charm, and sometimes it doesn't. But for the most part, right now, I just have full confidence in my team, and they're letting me do whatever I want, and I'm just learning every step of the way, and it's working. So I'm just gonna stick to it.
Hey, so I got a question for you. Actually, a two-part question. So first things first, what separates you guys so much in hardpoint from the majority of the teams that we have in the CDL? Because you guys are 6-1, seemingly been dominant throughout the start, of the league. And then also, what have you done individually to step up? Because to me, you've had like the biggest or the quickest turnaround from week 1 to week 2.
Honestly, and I feel like this year more so than every year, I've been grasping more of like a textbook type of Call of Duty and hardpoint, and I feel like with Gunless and Slasher, they don't make any rotational mistakes. So I think all in all, it feels like we are the most structured team in hardpoint. So I feel like that's why we're finding so much success in it. And to be honest, we should be undefeated, but that's here nor there.
Hey, love that. All right, well, you know what? You could go undefeated from this point on into at least the next major, right? And hopefully you guys are able to do that. Thank you so much for putting on a great show today, man. That 1.32 was phenomenal on our screens. Enjoy the big game, and I hope you have a great day.
Appreciate it, guys. Rams house, let's go.
Take it easy, bro.
Well, since I'm in Ohio, I think I'm going to go for the Bengals. We'll talk about that next time, though. But aLLeY, so far, today has been great. London Royal Ravens copped a big L in a big way as well. but the team, they still look good. It's no time to panic, right?
Yeah, they still look good. For me, a lot of that series was London making a bit of some blunders for me. You know, we talk about them needing to work on rotation. I know I said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, now it's kind of broke. So I think they need to start working on those rotations because that's really the nail in the coffin when it came to this LAG series.
Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more game on the day. The Florida Mutineers will be facing off against the Toronto Ultra. Now, Florida, from what we saw yesterday, I'm pretty sure they're all pretty upset and they really want to make a statement with this one. But Toronto Ultra, they want to continuously prove that they're one of the best teams that ever graced the CDL. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break to continue with some more CDL action.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Haters talking to me, tell them pipe down. Or it's lights out, zeros on the debit, baby, all I do is swipe now. Gucci sweater 5,000, stunning, buzzing. I be going up, no ceiling. Wow, ballin', running, getting to the paper, I'm peeling out. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. Ain't no option, ain't no secondary. I just throw it out like a Hail Mary.
All right, welcome back to the CDL. And to close out the second week of what's been going on this year, we're gonna have a banger of a matchup between the Toronto Ultra and the Florida Mutineers. And breaking it all down will be me, the desk host Velly, aLLeY, and also Nameless. And in this matchup right here, it's gonna be really interesting, Nameless, because there is a sub in play for Toronto Ultra.
Yeah, they got Hicksy playing, and we're gonna see how he plugs in for Cammy. Plugging in for Cammy those are tough shoes to fill. Like Cammy, I thought at times was the best player in the game last year. Like the guy could pop off. So Hicky's got to come in, play that flex role, and really just fit into the system. I think they'll be okay though.
Right, and aLLeY with Hicksy coming in, and you know him from Challenger League as well. I mean, this guy, he's a beast.
No, he is really nasty coming up from the EU scene. And again, in Vanguard, his placings have been about top 6 thus far. But again, we had Cap come in, his average placing, it was like T23, 0.7. So I 100% expect Hicksy to come in out hot.
Now, let's talk about it and let's break it down. When it comes to Toronto and the game field keys of victory, Nameless, overall, what do you expect from this team?
I expect this team to be fantastic. You can see the smile on Hicksy right now. He's really excited to get in and get going for the squad. But for the game field keys to victory, continue to showcase elite setups in hardpoint. They're first in hold percentage. That's just a testament to the teamwork that this team has. Take control in the control. Second in round win percentage, Florida is last. So, you know, this is probably a team with the best teamwork versus one of the teams with the worst teamwork that relies on a lot of individual plays.
Yeah.
It's not to say Florida can't get better. It's just where they're at right now. And then Insight has to get back to normal ways in search and destroy. 0.89 KD this season, 1.24 in Cold War. Sort of the backbone for this team. A lot of times when somebody was left in a clutch situation, it was Insight. And more often times than not, you can count on him to win that round. I think he's just learning, getting more comfortable right now, and he'll get there. But if they want to be dominant at search, he's got to get there soon.
Definitely. Seeing that man bounce on the screen every single time. Look at him, man. Good vibes. These guys are ready for a big dub. And yes, in order to win this game, they're going to have to go against a team, like you said, they have a lot of individual prowess, right? Like, okay, Vivid having, 85 engagements. aLLeY, when it comes to this team, they're going to have to bring that and more in order to beat Toronto.
That and more. Like we said, it was an incredibly high engagement game, but they still didn't win it. So when you have to talk about that situation is where's the decision making? Because those kills are coming through, but clearly they aren't making much of an impact on the map itself. So I'm wondering who's kind of being the play caller when it comes to this Florida team, because they showed a lot of promise in Kickoff Classic, a little bit in week 1, but then they went up against LA Thieves and kind of got slammed. So when it comes to the game fuel keys to victory, Vivid needs to turn those kills at hardpoint, those engagements, over into control as well. He has a 0.8 KD, so if he could step it up for his squad in the slaying department, maybe it could go a little bit more their way. And they need to focus on knocking down hills and hardpoint. They're 10th in hold percentage, so they might be getting that early rotation, but they are losing all the gunfights following that. And of course, make your life easier in S&D. They're 11th in first blood win percentage and 4th in round win percentage. So you know what? They've been winning rounds, they even went down a man. So imagine how much of a turnaround that would be if they end up getting those first bloods first.
Wow, and take a look at the stats. I mean, that's really interesting because even though they're 10th and 11th in a lot of categories, the thing is, the games that they're losing are extremely winnable. They're almost there. And with that being said, for the last game of the day, let's talk about it. Nameless, when it comes to predictions, man, Florida, they held their own yesterday. They looked really good, and they're going against Toronto Ultra, who's definitely looked human so far this season. Who do you have winning this matchup?
I'm going to go Toronto Ultra. I think they're going to take it 3-1. I can't go against that team.
He definitely can. aLLeY, who do you have winning this game? Are you going with the boys in Florida or Toronto Ultra, who's been looking just so damn good this year?
Well, you know what, Velly? There's been already an upset today, and that might be the theme going into it, but I'm going to go with Toronto Ultra. You know what, actually, I'm missing
Where's
something.
your glasses
I can't
at?
see any of you very well last time I checked, so I'm gonna have my boys up north help me. Can you open this for me, lovely?
I got you. I got
the nails on, guys. I can't be opening stuff like
the beautiful Toronto Ultra glasses.
Thank you so much, because, you know, we are the North. I still can't see, but they look good, right?
They look great.
I think Toronto Ultra's going to take this.
You got to get the prescription lenses in those. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. I'm going to rock with Toronto Ultra because Kleenex is a beast, and I love seeing this team on screen whenever they're up there. But let's go ahead and toss this away to the casters. Hey, fellas, Toronto versus Florida. This is going to be a good one, right?
Nice. Good talk.
Hey, it certainly should do. Thanks for having us on. I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to today. Toronto should be good. Obviously, I know what you're all thinking. You're wondering what I'm doing here, but I'll be honest with you. Being new to the CDL, I'm trying to fit in with our American colleagues, and they keep going on about superb owls today. So I thought I would join in with mine, and hopefully I can be part of the crew. But Tan, going into this game, it should be a really good one. The biggest story though has got to be about HiXy debuting in the CDL. How much does it affect Ultra?
It's a good question. I hope we do enjoy this game. Bryce is probably going to be well last after that gag, to be completely frank with you. Maybe. But look, I mean, it's the opportunity for HiXy to come in here and show what he's made of. We're very, very excited to see how he does play it. Absolutely delighted the L was falling off your shoulder. Nonetheless, for Ultra, it's a bit of a mix-up. It has to be said. It is coming at the last moment. How long did they know that Cammy wasn't going to be in? Had they had time to practice? Does HiXy fit into that role that they need him to fit into? There is many questions to be asked, not just about the props from the casters, but into the first map we are about to go. And it does make things very, very interesting in this series. We have this one as a lock, pretty much. We were like, right, yeah, Ultra probably should take it. Yeah, Mutineers looked pretty good last night, but is it going to be good enough to go up against a team like Ultra? Well, now maybe it is. We're going to go on board with HiXy to kick things off. And what can the rookie do up against the Florida Mutineers?
Yeah, so much pressure on HiXy for this one, to be fair. Obviously, coming into what is looking like a very good Toronto Ultra team. A lot of people are going to be eyes on, wondering exactly what he can do and what his future in the CDL will entail. At the moment, both teams just hitting the mixer, though. Of course, this is Bakash, and P1, it's a little bit mixy.
All the time. It's just interesting to see how HiXy is going to fit in. I think that's the kind of thing that we have to look at here. Are the SMGs going to be the main thing for him on this map? You would expect so. Coming in is what you would expect to be a flex on this squad. And I'm just interested to see if he can take this opportunity. You've seen the vibes in the cameras at the beginning of the game. Everyone's feeling good. The laughs are there all the time. You know all these boys on the Ultra. Vibey. We quite often have seen that from time to time. The cams are always a nice little showing from the boys, but so far, so good, I suppose. At the same time, not many points have went down, but for the Ultra, they do have a hold of the spawns. A few kills do come in for the Mutineers, making that all four dead momentarily. Spawns still there for Ultra. They will continue to hold them, but the kill feed's mostly lighting up for the Mutineers.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, coming into this one, I definitely felt like this may be a bit of a more Mutineers map. Realistically, I always think about Ultra and their teamwork coming into it, but Kaj does not play to their strength, and now they have a new player. I think this is going to be an uphill battle for the majority of it. A very low-scoring game at the moment for both teams, however. And you can see they're still just trading all over the map here. Nobody really getting any time. It's very, very early, but I would already be probably calling this could go to time.
Yeah, Paddy, 10-2 out of the gates. And that 10-3's insight will find him, and eventually some sort of control has been established by the Toronto Ultra. They will start to pick up some points with only 15 seconds or so remaining, but this rotation is very much the important one. Kleenex hunting down as best as he can. Awakening gets caught. Is he going to be able to find Vivid towards the back as well? Dave Paddy is there for support him. Doesn't need to find the second kill. Looks like the Mutineers are going to lock down these spawns for P3. Inside the Grandmas now, and looking to soak up some time.
Well, here come the Ultra. They're going to try and push through. Here's a few respawns coming off the back here for Mutineers. And Bad's trying to get through. Already gets one, but does get traded away straight away. Fighting in the hill, though. Sky's getting two. And now you can see Insight has to wait for his teammates. Needs a little bit of reinforcement before he takes this. And it's all Mutineers in the kill feed. Oh, Mutineers as Dave Paddy gets two. And at the moment, Ultra seem to be a little bit struggling. There is no break coming through for them, even though Kleenex now gets two.
Let's see, can he make it three? Not quite. Skies is there inside the hard point. Doing his best to lock things down. Just a really, really good hold. Dave Paddy staying alive towards the back has really helped out the Mutineers here. Seems like they will be cleared out a little bit. Have to be careful not to be forced into this spawn. But only 15 seconds remaining on this hill. The shots through the wall, not quite good enough. Ultra soak up a little bit of time. They had the side of the map that they want in terms of spawns as HiXy picks up 2, 7, and 10 out of him so far. Let's see if he can get things going. Make that 3 and the 4 from HiXy. Look at him go. The rookie on the stage. May well be in the facility for Ultra, but that is a good start for him. Can he keep it going? Not quite. aBeZy lighting it up. Need to see more of that from him, though. Ultra just about in the lead off the back of a good amount of scrap time going over towards them.
Well, they need that bit of confidence there for aBeZy. Obviously, it's his debut, but right now it is going to be Ultra in the lead as we head into the barn. And Clinics and Bans teaming up there to wipe out a good part of the Mutineers. And maybe this is the Ultra feeling a little bit more confident now coming into it. Questions have been asked. The biggest question is how are they going to deal in more structured game modes? How is their S&D going to be? Because Hardpoint, well, it's crazy, it's fast, it's sometimes a little bit weird, and it seems like both teams are just throwing themselves into this time and time again. I honestly don't know who's coming out on top.
And I wonder if that's maybe a tactic from the Ultra in the sense of that, okay, we'll brought aBeZy in terms of that methodical player that, you know, the teamwork that Toronto Ultra are well known for. Sometimes Makaj is a little bit mixy, it has to be said, we all know it. Very much is down to some tactics, it has to be said. Will not deter away from some of the teams who are very solid at this map, but it can be one of those where it's just about headbutting, it's just about being fast and frantic. You throw aBeZy into that kind of game, it doesn't necessarily take a lot of this teamwork, but speaking of teamwork, it seems as if Ultra have just about won this rotation. One of the teams who are the best at holding hills. When they do get a hold of it, bounce with important kills towards the back. They do have the spawns, but they have to defend well.
Yeah, this is not easy for them to get in. Every single time you jump into River Hardpoint, you know you've got so many places to defend, and players will jump on you over and over again. You can see Vivid trying to get into the tower there as well. And Paddy also does a gun on Bans from long range. And the Mutineers are sticking it to Ultra, but somehow Ultra still in the lead here as we look for the next rotation.
Not Ultra. They do have the lead. They do have the spawns, if albeit momentarily they're trying to get in the hill, but I'm interested to hear the comms from Toronto Ultra. Let's go into a listening.
Free. Guys, really weak.
Already up front.
Go play.
Keep me. Dead.
Go front,
Nice.
go front.
On hut.
G3 still, remember? Guys,
Probably
I'm waiting.
Top Caesar. Caesar's top, I'm with you.
One stable.
Yeah, Caesar was top grannies.
The top barn, top barn, top barn. Jump that. Hey, top hay, top hay.
Okay.
What are you lot doing?
I'll see you back.
Yeah, truck there.
Top out. He's gate. Reese is back on me. Caesar's in main.
Oh, in shed
Reese
and
is
hill.
weak. Reese is weak.
One's in shed, one hill.
Big kill off time. Pushed out gate.
Hey, dead.
Nice, well
Alright,
played.
well played.
Never time.
Yeah, need over time as well.
Yeah, Reese is gate.
Back right tank, David.
He's gonna go main.
Back right tank, Dave. Fucking hell.
I'm with you, Tilly.
He's down.
Go back right tank, Dave.
I don't know where he's on time. We gate.
Where is he on time?
Barn.
Barn. Left me, away.
Dave still P2 tank, no time. Dave
Go
still
for left
P2
if you
tank.
can.
Yeah, he's
They're gonna hit me out. Yeah, play left.
He's dead. Wait, what? Weak? You're weaker. You're weak.
Nice. No one was in barn, I think.
Yeah, it's front barn. And one's down.
Awakening back left. Fences. One's just spawn there, left.
Barn still absolute.
I'm dead.
Oh,
I got that. One more.
Nice, that's two dead. Two dead. Alright, let's take our time now. Because
one on old and one probably back right.
he's on the barrel spot. Ace and D. Ace coming nice. One was
Deep left for me. I'm leaving him.
Yeah, good play.
In fucking top barn, top right barn.
One should be time. One should be time.
Alright, one more top barn on
I don't see him.
He's on the back roof.
Top barn. Yeah, back roof. Back roof and backed in. Back roof and backed in. He's on time. No, he's behind the tree. Behind the tree.
Tree weak.
He's weak behind the tree.
In it. And tin,
barrel spot dead.
In as well.
I'm stunned, mate.
In the top barn.
In the barn.
We'll see the guy barn.
Waking his back coming. Nice. Waking his back.
Wow, Ultra cool, calm and collected. Pretty much what we've been expecting all year from them in terms of comms. They are known for it. However, what they're not known is for Dave Paddy to absolutely slaughter them across the map. 23 and 11 so far, Ton. He's put in some serious work, but somehow Ultra still in the lead.
Yeah, he's putting in the work, but is it resulting in much for Florida Mutineers? The answer to that question is no. If you look at the kill feed, the scoreboard more specifically, it's fairly even across the board, and the outlier is Dave Paddy. It's not really making much of a difference, as mentioned. Heading over here, and this is where the gunfights need to be won, and skies are going to fall far too easily. Ultra seem to just be warming up into this game a little bit. Somebody who hasn't necessarily got things going too quickly is Vivid. We know how good he has been on this map. The engagements are usually there for him. He is amongst the top in this game so far. At the same time, we haven't seen the levels we have done before, but the Ultra keep a hold of the spawns towards the back here at P3 inside of Grandma's. Inside the hill as well. The rest of the team just trying to clear out as quickly as they can. Gunfight's going to come on through. Kleenex will find a kill onto Awakening, but it is the Mutineers inside the hard point. Spawn's still there for Ultra. 30 seconds to go.
Oh, and the Skies looking for players, though. Will be a bait and switch. Players from Ultra swinging into that one as well. They're having to back off a little bit here, the Mutineers. The pressure has come in from the Purples, and you can already see they are clearing this out very, very effectively. aBeZy trying to stay alive, but it's an Ultra swarm coming through. The Mutineers are on the back foot, and I say that as Vivid explodes through. Bans finally gets that trade here, but with 20 hard points, he had no health. He had no health. Somehow now with 4 hard with health remaining, Bans has stayed into this one and got them a little bit extra time, and on Picard, every single point is important because you don't know when your next ones are coming.
Yeah, it's a good lead for the Toronto Ultra right now. Extended that just a little bit. It's been close all the way through, and it's the biggest lead we've seen. Hixie down this right-hand side, 19 and 23 from him, just trying to keep these engagements up, getting in and amongst it. This moment in time, though, Mutineers just about winning it out over towards Barn. Good shots from inside, can't find the second. The trades are there in the favor of the Mutineers once more. 35 seconds remaining on this hill. Ultra just posturing as they're trying to make this push on through. They need to break it quickly.
Well, that's 2 big kills already there from Ultra, somehow managing to get their way through into the barn here, looking for this last player. They know it's about it. Sky comes in for the challenge. Hixie is aware, and more kills come down. It's going to be awakening outside. Vivid and also throwing into this one. It's always chaotic around barn. There's just so many entrances and places for players to sit. But where will this rotation come in? 10 seconds left for the Mutineers onto this hill, and keep an eye. aBeZy, who has been influential for Florida right now, has gone right around the back. What can he do?
Let's see, they win out the last remaining gunfights over towards that middle hill. aBeZy has been taken down to the back. It looks like Ultra have getting away with this one nice and cleanly. One player left, that's going to be Vivid. Spawns actually come in for the Mutineers, and here comes the streaks. aBeZy has had them pretty much since P1. Can he do anything with them? The rest of his team do fall as he finds the kill with the glide bomb. Where are the spawns going to come in? They're going to come in for the Mutineers. Now, Bance is the one cut the head off the snake. Can he do it? There's one, there's 2. Nelly the 3rd, but Vivid does cut him down. Ultra still in control. Good work from Bance. Spawns are there for Florida.
It is a very close one, though. Clearexo managed to get on the flank, finds 2 as well. The Mutineers, every single time you feel like they're getting a toehold back into this game, Ultra somehow just keep ever so slightly ahead as Clearex is now running rampant. 6 kills to his name, but it will be too close as Skies will take him down eventually. Now Bance up top with the auto. And it is going to be both teams here now fighting for this P1 and into P2 control.
Oh, my word.
And I honestly don't know which way it's going to go. At the moment, Ultra have been in control for the majority of this map, but the Mutineers are just so close behind them every single step of the way.
It's one decent break. It's one decent hold from the Mutineers, and they are well and truly back into this game. 30 points on Vakaj is a fairly decent amount, but they're currently escalating those. Shots into Cleanex are good from Vivid. Will get cleaned up by Bance. Where are the trades? Which way are they going to go? Back and forth, back and forth. Ooh. Who's going to end out on top? It's going to be Skies to find 2. Hard for the Mutineers to really do much with this middle hard point, though. We have seen teams put up some good points, but they haven't been able to clear it. You need that wipe to get your positioning. It's all going to be about this rotation over towards P2. That's where the money is made. Hixie in top barn. What hit can he do? 3-man wipe, potentially a 4. Cleanex will find that kill back. Keep an eye on these spawns. Big kill towards the back. Insight wins it.
You can already see now Ultra are sweeping towards that back. Hixie spawned out all the way towards tower, so Ultra have had to back up and make sure they secure their lines. You can see now, though, a few points coming down for it, and the score is again so close going into this P2. Can they manage to hold it again? Big kill by Inside on the mid here. We're going to see aBeZy go around the outside. He's looking for it on the hill. He's already on it. If his teammates can back him up here, this could cause problems for Ultra.
Look at the clock, though. 24 seconds remaining on the in-game clock. Bear that in mind as we maybe potentially go into this final hill. Shots from Skies are good. He already finds one. The break comes on through. Look at the spawns coming in for Ultra. The Mutineers managed to break it. The lead is slender. 35 seconds remaining on this hill. Awakening well positioned. Finds one in the second in the middle as well. Bance will fall. The Mutineers are about to crawl into the lead if Ultra are not careful. Inside in the middle of nowhere.
Skies gets another one. It's unbelievable. Skies just lit them up completely, and they have taken the lead here. It's off to the races in terms of rotations. Ultra don't want to give them any time either. They're actually going to go for the contest. Trying to find Skies. Skies still alive again. Just causing so many problems. Eventually will be traded out by Bance. And Ultra find themselves on the back foot for the very first part of this game. Is there any way they can make this comeback? They do not have the spawns. They do not have the time. And contests will go against them.
Gonna be hit from the front. What can they do? Inside Bance all leading the way. The shots in towards the back are solid. Cleanex, Hixie combining well though. That kill feed blue and purple left and right. Which way is it gonna go? Ultimately, aBeZy.
It's a tie.
The one left, but 4 seconds inside. The hill gets the spin, but the team need to get inside. The contest is not good enough. You need to clear them out inside the Toronto Ultra. Now, here comes the contest. 0.7, 0.6. It's ticking down. The contest comes in, but the Ultra in the lead. They close out game number 1. And what a game number 1 it was on Because. How on earth has that happened?
I really don't know. The Mutineers, they looked like they had it. They had it so close. I don't know whether letting that time go down cost them or fighting outside the back for spawns, but something happened and it wasn't what they wanted. Somehow, Ultra clutch up in the dying seconds of it. And I'll be honest with you, Ton, I felt like we were going for a tie there. Anything could have happened.
I need to see the final 20 seconds of that map right now.
I'll be honest with you, I would like to see the entire last rotation again. That's all I want to see.
It's 1 point. Oh my word. You're very unlikely to see a closer game of hardpoint than that. 2-2-1 to 220. And this is all the way back from P number 2. That rotation over towards 3. Mutineers do a great job at picking up so much time on peak T. We know it's not money hill. We know it is. They pick up so much time. This rotation comes in. You're looking at insight. First one in. Vance finds a couple. You can see the spawns are there for the Mutineers. It's a 4-point lead heading into this. 10 seconds on the clock, and they're just kind of skipping in between. Let's see where Ultra pick these points up. It's here, still at level. 7 seconds remaining.
aBeZy.
There's the contest. aBeZy does so well here. The second kill comes in. Look at that. Is disgusting. Mutineers find 2 more.
And it's
aBeZy and
seconds left to go.
There it is. It's aBeZy and Insight who find the kills towards the back. They're still behind. There's 1.7
of a second.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. We said it before, Bakaj, it's mixy, it's weird, it's ended like that. It could have been a tie here in the CDL. Ultra are understandably delighted. They probably thought they had lost it several times. Mutineers must feel gutted. They had the rotation, they were in the lead, the timer was going down, they had the spawn. I don't understand. Fortunately, I will say this, aBeZy, what a way to debut.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, in terms of actual numbers, we'll need to go and revisit them because honestly, they came up on my screen, but my mind was still on those final 20 seconds, to be honest with you. But it's those couple of moments where he finds those 2 kills towards the back. Absolutely huge. If one of those players gets in through the side door and there's ultimately staring inside the point, they don't pick up as many kills. So a huge 2-piece towards the end. You can see the players coming in, slapping them on the back. They're getting excited. My goodness, what a way to kick off the series. You know, when we were seeing this game, we thought to ourselves, right, okay, yeah, Ultra should probably get it done. You see the aBeZy change that has to happen because of Cammy. Hopefully Cammy does get better soon. You question whether it could be a tight game, and well, a 1-point game on hardpoint tells the story. We may well have a banger of a series on our hands right now. I don't know how Insight's sleeping, to be honest with you. That's it. I'm awake for hours now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy just seeing how this ended up going down. I did feel like that was a big map for the Mutineers going into the next 2. I don't really have them down on my notes here as having a good chance. But before we get that far, let's have a little comparison between some of our players, shall we? Here's CleanX and Skies, and as you can see, Skies with a 1.37 coming into this, and it looks like the better player. Doesn't look like the better player, but is the Mutineers going to be the better team with him on, Ton?
It's a question, isn't it? It's in terms of who you're going up against, etc., etc. For CleanX to have a 1.1 in S&D, I actually don't mind that at all. He's one of those guys. He's going to be up there getting aggressive, looking for those first bloods. This guy's going to be that guy, though, for the Mutineers. You have to question whether it's a very similar kind of role, but nonetheless, good S&D KDs out of both of these players. Skies, though, could be very influential as we head into Search and Destroy in just a moment, but CleanX, he's the one, as mentioned, getting aggressive, finding those first bloods. We know how important they can be on Tuscan.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm beating a drum here on this one, Tom. We've spoken before about what is aBeZy's influence going to be on the Toronto Ultra coming into this. S&D is one of those questions. We've spoken about it before, you know, when you come into a team that is as well-versed, as structured as the Ultra can be, you're the new guy. A lot of pressure going to be on you. What are they going to do with it? Obviously, not the greatest of stats, but stats don't tell the entire story. I've always said KD ratio, I don't care. But coming into this one, of course, I will say, in terms of stats, that Ultra have won this against Surge and LAG. So they're already pretty well versed on it.
And does that translate into the same sort of statistics when it comes down to it? Well, you don't have Cammy. Awakening gonna have to back on down. Sees a few members at Ultra and backs on down into a good position. We'll find Bance. Can he find a second? Yes, he can. Good plays out of Big Wick. CleanX falls down ultimately. It is going to be an Insight 1v4 needed.
Well, let's see. Play this really slow here, obviously. Not really expecting a 1v4 from him, but what magic does Insight have? This is not going to go well. He's going to challenge the corner, and he sees him. He does manage to get Vivid. Technically still in play here. Realistically, the Mutineers are just should stack up or get each other's crosses and trades. Should be an almost nightmare scenario. See Skies in the back, and he's gone for it. Should be challenged there, I thought.
Yeah, they're not taking any risks yet. The grenade actually hits them as well. Yeah, 20 seconds to score. The problem being, doesn't have a hold of the bomb. Just going to play this well. The Mutineers, they're going to play it well. Just about. Things got a little bit scary for just a moment, but the Mutineers always in a prime position to close that round out. It's just down to Wake, isn't it? Really well played. Sees the initial 3 players coming on through. He says, yeah, nope. Jumps on down inside the bomb site. They don't expect him to be there and picks up 2 big players. Finds the first round there for the Florida Mutineers.
Well, we were asking about the break for it, and it went from a pretty bad start into a worse ending. Unfortunately, there, the Ultra never really got anything going. They didn't win the gunfight and left Insight all alone, wondering what on earth he was going to do. But this is another round. We can see the sniper. Always a good sniper gameplay. We can see on the minimap, though, none of Ultra are here, so there shouldn't be anybody getting caught by that as Higgsy goes flying in. Takes down Awakening. That's huge for them at the moment.
Yeah, and get a little bit of real estate on the map as well. CleanX will find another bomb down middle of nowhere. Kind of similar scenario to what we're seeing in round number 1, but the shoe is on the other foot here now. Florida Mutineers need to find themselves a break on through. 2v4 though. Probably going to work off the back of a sniper from Dave Paddy. Can he find anything but CleanX? The tissue is going to be an issue back here. As soon as any gunfights come on through, he's flying.
Well, just completely set up. The Ultra remaining firm. The only person that actually moves is going to be CleanX. However, Skies gets hit. TJHaly has to stay down. Eventually that pinch has come in, and that will be the end. Ultra hold fast and get a point back onto the board here. 1-1 in this S&D. Like I said before, Ultra, I have favoured them on this map. They have beaten 2 pretty good teams already in Surge and LAG. But again, always that question. Debut, new player, the sub in for Cammy, a player who a lot of people have thought is one of the driving forces of Ultra.
See if this next attacking round can be a little bit better from Ultra. I didn't mind the hit that they came out with over towards B, but Awakening finds 2 kills uncontested. It's always going to make your round that little bit more difficult. Insight 3-1 as mentioned. Good start to the game from him. It's going to be a hit coming out from Ultra. This bomb may well be going down, but Vivid catches Bance with, well, a grenade in his hands, and Higgsy is able to answer back. 3v3 bomb is down, though.
At the moment, though, they're going to try and want to get that bomb back. CleanX, though, trying to make a move. Brilliant players. Insight has that sniper. Desperately trying to peek it correctly. However, does get that bomb out. Looks like Ultra might try and meet him. It is a 2 versus 3 here for Ultra. The Mutineers do have map control, and they have the ability to just slow play this now.
And what is the play? They do have a hold of the bomb. Mutineers will know that. It's just about trying to find a pick. Awakening will catch Higgsy, and all of a sudden it becomes a 1v3 for Insight. And, well, when you have a Car 98 in your hands, it just makes it that little bit more difficult.
Does timing has it? Has the chance of getting him, unfortunately, as that player started to come back, switches the pistol and hits the sprint and will go down. The Mutineers holding fast on defense. They go 2-1 up now on the S&D.
Yeah, it's just finding those opening picks. Bance really not expecting Vivid to just be hanging out next to the boxes in Courtyard, and all of a sudden it's an easy kill, and it makes it just so much more difficult. The sign of Toronto Ultra. Good start, though, here from Florida. Holding their defense as well. Need to find a search and destroy. Especially after what happened in map number 1. Getting yourself a map back. Getting back into the series. Massive momentum swing, potentially. They got control of the A-bomb site. Ultra happy to sit back and potentially go for a retake here. That bomb does go down, which is looking like it's going to happen.
Well, do know Ultra have some nades for that, just in case, and got them ready to set up. Unfortunately, it hasn't deterred the bomb plant, but they do get first blood. Makes it a little bit equal. I don't think Bance wanted that to go down there. I'm not entirely sure, however. Now going to look to push out. aBeZy is going to be here. He's going to see him as well. Bance has held his fire and will get that kill. It's now Sky's alone in a 1 versus 4, and he's going to go straight down as well. It's all defense here on the S&D, and it now goes 2-2.
I absolutely love that from Bance. You know, look, they find the kill on the flank. They know for a fact that Mutineers are going to have to wrap back around because they have to cover their own bases. The fact that Vivid dies where he dies inside the map room. Ultimately, you think, yeah, Ultra are going to wrap. They're going to kind of converge on the site. This is going to become a problem. If you're the Mutineers, you have to wrap that back around. You have to kind of clear it up to make sure that does not happen. And Bance is like, yeah, cool. I'm just going to wait for you to actually wrap back around here. Finds the kill nice and easy. The round was already done, has to be said. But smart plays coming out from Bance. The Vetty. I remember when he just started out, and to call him a veteran now is actually crazy.
It's true. I'm just constantly getting more old, and everyone seems to be getting younger who plays professional Call of Duty. But jumping on to this next one, at the moment we're on board with Hixie. Obviously he's going to try and watch this cross for his teammates. It looks like they're going to go for that bomb down on A. And Hixie's actually going to try and chow this. He's obviously got the call from his teammates. They've got a hit marker there from either the stun or the nade. Nothing comes of it, but this bomb will go down for Bance.
Same story. This first engagement is going to be absolutely massive to determining who comes out on top in this round. aBeZy just waiting for the engagements to come on through, and it's always the team who needs to defuse who seem to be waiting for those engagements. Can you find anything with the snipers? Hixie does take down Vivid, 4v3.
Ultra have given up this bomb site completely. They are playing on a setup here as well, and it seems to be working for them. Bance trying to just stay alive, hoping a teammate can back him up. Will eventually go down. 2 versus 3 now. aBeZy with a sniper trying to get a pick for this bomb. He's desperately looking for the Ultra players. He knows they're there, and there's a little peekaboo. But Clinic says no, thank you. Tries to hit the no-scope. It's going to be no good. Ultra will take that round, and that's the first attacking round we've seen done.
There you go. Much better from the Ultra side. And that's the problem when you do have a sniper, those sort of scenarios where you need to retake a bomb site. In that situation, if aBeZy has the auto in his hands, he may well find a kill or two, but nonetheless, a good attacking round from Ultra. You get that bomb down, it does make the difference, especially if you got somebody inside a broken Kleenex just playing his life. Knows he can peek the bomb from there. It's very, very difficult for Ultra, for the Mutineers, I should say, sorry, to find a defuse one. Kleenex is up inside a broken. Here's aBeZy inside the same building. No, can he find a pick once more?
Wow, on the other side of it, we do have inside sniping as well. Need the team, but their first blood, however, it might be Awakening. He's found Hixie. And that is a big first kill there for Florida Mutineers.
So patient.
The opportunity to dictate pace in this.
v3. Bance will find a kill onto the sniper of the Florida Mutineers. aBeZy now going to be relieved of his duties for a round at least. Guy's going to have to back on down. Knows the grenades will be coming. It's looking like a B hit. Stun will come in. Info there. Yeah, info for the Ultra.
He's desperately trying to get in position before this happens. He's going to find it with a pistol, but no, Awakening is better. MP40 will win that gunfight, and that does put Mutineers back in the driving seat again. Insight's looking to make a move here. He's actually going to challenge as well. He finds Skies on the bomb. He's going to be with Bance. As they're trying to hold it, Bance does go down. It's now Insight with this pistol. He is sniping, remember. He doesn't have an awful lot of options. It is a 1 versus 2. They really want to put that bomb down. It is going to go down as well, surely. He's going to try with a pistol. Awakening. MB40 versus pistol. That's the second time this round. Mutineers will bring it back.
Nicely done from the Mutineers. They just picked them off. Really just patient. Hixie gets very, very aggressive in the middle of the map. We know that's what he likes to do. Very well played from the Mutineers, though. Very happy to just sit and wait for the aggression to come out from Ultra off the back of an attacking round. Maybe they feel confident, and well, the kills follow for the Mutineers, and then just play their numbers, plant the bomb, and always difficult for Insight in that scenario. 3-3 now. This one is very difficult to separate either one of these two teams, but Awakening 7-3, 4 spree for him. Maybe looking to try and get something going. Hixie through the middle of the map this time, though. Will find the kill. aBeZy will answer back with a kill against Bance, but that aggression paying off this time for the Ultra.
Thanks, getting one. Awakening looking for him, and Insight's trying to get his trade. It does look like a little bit of a switch here. Ultra not going for that A plant. They want to try and work B. You see at the moment, they are leaving Insight, just watching that flank, making sure nobody comes behind them. They're not 100% certain of map control, and I imagine Insiders are going to try and keep an eye for them. That's exactly what he's doing. Hixie's actually, they're going to wrap. They're going to way through, but Skies has read this. like an absolute book. Let's just see him again. He has jumped out. CleanX was with him here to trade. Didn't expect that second player. And now we're on board with Awakening. This is a 1v2 to put Florida in the lead.
Yeah, if you're Awakening here, Ultra could be literally anywhere. It looked like they were potentially wrapping over towards A. Obviously, we can see them still holding over towards B. Awakening will know. And they could really be at either bomb site. He's got eyes, and well, not anymore because he's had his head peeled off. Ultra, find it around.
Yeah, I've got to say, Ultra played that very, very calm. They didn't try and work a bomb site at all. They waited it out, and Insight says, hey, I see the door you've just opened. Thank you very much.
See the aggression this time around paying off for Ultra. It's Hixie who found the first, and then CleanX with another pushing through mid.
Yeah, can we talk about that? Hixie just bombing through mid and bunny hopping and taking a kill.
I respect it.
That's insane.
I respect it. Look, I think, you know, especially when you're playing with these boys, they'll just be telling you play loose and fast, play how you want. Just see what you can do for the boys and help back us up. Oh. It's like, nice. It's the most painful thing that ever happens in Call of Duty. You hold an angle for an eternity and all of a sudden you stop and oh, he appears. Typical.
Hixie with first blood again, and I got to say this. I was speaking to some people who know Hixie before this game, as soon as we know he was going to be a sub, and they said he's probably one of the smartest players they know. It turns out that is paying out for Ultra in a massive way at the moment. CleanX coming from behind is going to get another kill as well. It's now a 4 versus 2. The Mutineers, they have the bomb, but they don't know where to go with it. They are being slowly squeezed by Toronto.
Oh, and Hixie just going to check that. Can he find the second? Skies towards the back. Now 1v3. Need the ace for the round. And yeah, for Mutineers, it just has crumbled a little bit. But my goodness me, the snap under CleanX, the centering from Skies is disgusting. But now a 1v2. A lot more doable than a 1v3, you would think. But he's already found 2.
Is this possible? Oh, if he managed to get that kill on Insight, he may go on for the rush bomb plant. Let's try this. He's going to try this.
Inside
shot. Oh, just gets it in, and unfortunately, they will know the timing exactly. And because they're split up, they feel more than confident to go and check those bomb sites. Yeah, Ultra holding fast there. I thought the 1v4 was on.
Could have been. Time just really not on Sky's side. In that scenario, if you maybe got another, 10 seconds or so left on that timer, you may well get a free plant. Whether or not he would have got out or not is another thing, but nonetheless, Ultra, map point. This will put them 2-0 up. It's been quite back and forth, but Ultra just seemed to have stepped it up a gear. These last couple of rounds, the Mutineers now, with all the work to do. 3 rounds needed to time the series up.
Mutineers really do need this map. They don't want to go into Tuscan. The map they got pretty badly bodied on last time they played Toronto. Back again. We see them do this over and over again. The same tactic, and they have got this down to a science. However, that sniper eventually hits. TJHaly has taken down Insight.
Vivid just flew out of mid-map there as well. And Ultra say, right, cool. You can take it. Now they're going to have to go for the retake, but Vivid may well just go for this defuse, but Bance in the power position. Dear Paddy, his sniper is glaring at that, though. Bance has to be careful not to lose his head. CleanX will find the kill on Awakening. 3v3. That bomb is getting defused, and it gets defused. The Mutineers go for that retake. Ultra have to back on down. Sniper covering. Bance can't peek it. Bomb defused.
Yeah, I got to say, that's excellent play there with the sniper. I mean, he gets him in the end. That will be the final kill cam. That was after the bomb was defused. But Bance saw the glint of the sniper rifle scope. He said, I can't challenge this. If I die, this bomb gets defused regardless. Obviously, he didn't know it was being defused at that current time. And they just lost insight early on. It kind of broke their setup a little bit. Toronto didn't have any opportunity, but excellent execution there from the Mutineers. They took advantage of it, and they have pushed Ultra just one more round further. Can they make this a 5-5?
And the thing is, when you find that kill on Insight, he's more than likely the one that wraps back into Broken to cover the bomb once it is down. Paddy finds that pick, and it was an important one. Lots of shots being fired, not many of them landed. It's a good grenade from Awakening, isn't able to quite find that hit marker, but same old story. Bomb may well be going down over towards A. Plenty of control here for the Mutineers.
They do have run on the map at the moment. When this bomb goes down, Florida will have complete control. See, there we go. It goes. Ultra are going to have to figure out a way to get through.
Vivid is huge here. If Ultra push out of this door, he needs to find something. Looks like they are just going to go through the mid, so they eliminate his presence really from being an issue. Well, he is going to have to wrap around eventually. This is going to be a hard retake for the Ultra. Awakening will find a first. Vivid is patient, and Bance will fall. Awakening finds another round 11. Beckons as the Florida Mutineers turn it round.
They will not go away without a fight. The Mutineers, it wasn't looking good for them, and now it does. 5-5 on this S&D. They want this map win. They can taste it. They've had the run of it. They've broken down the Ultra setups a couple of times. They're actually out kind of calm playing the Ultra. Just the patience. Here he goes. This is where it counts. This is where the clutch factor must come in. They are on the attack again. And it's a big hit. Look at Ultra. They go for a huge hit through A Street.
Oh, they've really went for it. And it's not worked out in their favor. Mutineers playing this one very, very patiently, but they wouldn't have expected Bance there. All the way up over towards the statue side. Paddy will be taken down, but the Mutineers start to rotate this one over towards B. They got a free bomb site, but Vivid, he's either going to find a huge kill here or potentially run into 3 members of Ultra.
Mutineers are going to make a choice. They're in church. They're looking for these players. The Mutineers have to make a decision. Oh, he's just going to play her at the back here. This could be huge for him. He's found inside, but he does get away. That does give away his position, though. Vivid now trapped in church. He's going to come out the door. There are 2 players of Ultra here. He does get one and get away. That's huge for the Mutineers. But Bance is still at that A. They've taken down the bomb. Skies is now last alive. The Mutineers could have made this work. Can Skies do a 1v3 to get him this map?
Oh, I mean, he may well be able to find insight towards the back here, but time is once again not on his side. Ultra to go 2-0 up, and here come the reinforcements. Sky's now rocking a hard place comes to mind here. Brycey, 15 seconds.
Yeah, this is just going to be disastrous. Unfortunately, they are going to go down, and the Mutineers did so much work. They played so well in that game. Unfortunately, when it comes to 5-5s, and when it comes to cool, calm, and collected, the name at the top of that list is Toronto Ultra, and they go 2-0 up in this series.
Very nicely done. The composure in that round 11 to send everybody down A side. All of a sudden, you've got the bomb. Bance in a good spot. 6 and 7 out of him, but found the 2 in very, very important kills in that final round. Awakening has a good game, but once again, it doesn't translate into a win for the Mutineers there. Once again, close, but no cigar. 6-5, lost our point by 1 point. May well not be their day today.
No, it certainly was. I've got to give credit there. We're speaking about Hixie a few times, and the aggression worked. Obviously, Toronto Ultra worked around it and said, hey, do your thing and go out and get those kills you needed to. Also, Bance on that last first blood. We're going to talk about that. Bance getting down A and also getting that second kill. Round 11 was so crucial for them. It basically stopped all of the momentum the Mutineers had.
Yeah, it was a really, really good push coming in from the Toronto Ultra. Ultimately, though, not enough to get it done for the Mutineers. Bance with those kills, absolutely huge from him.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well, let's find out if the Mutineers can bounce back. Controllers coming up next. We'll be going to a break, and we'll see you right after this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League.
Standy can make all the difference. A current 2 versus 3, but what can they do? What can they do with it? Attach wins it. Standy for the other.
So far, 20 seconds left on this P2 hardpoint. They're continuously just spawning all of Paris Legion back stables, and this is where it can get out of hand because so much pressure towards the middle of the map. They are keeping those rotations in their back pocket. As you see, number 7, which is Dave Patty, already there.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, how often do we see a play like that? The team has spawns for P2 in Florida, never really allowed for them to even break out of their base. Vivid, in the midst of a 6 spree, finds one on the Tem, and now he's got the glide bomb
to kick it off. I mean, if you are the defensive side, you want to try to get them in lives. You want to try to have them throw as much as they can to try and capture that. The Shotzzy, putting them on a highlight reel, has some words for Zero at the top side of church. It's going to take a whole bunch of prayer to take them down.
Attack they go. Hydra piercing through the middle of the map, finds one, and now he's causing problems.
Yeah, he's causing problems. Oh, god damn, he finds another one. Slaying. A segment gone. 2 players capping it. Hydra still in church. Oh my god, he's still going. Still finding these kills inside church. It is his playground right now. He's having a wonderful time. There's a couple more. Hydra's still going. Second segment at A. Oh, he finds the 5th inside church alone.
Scump and Shotzzy combined for 2. Attach, having to try and stay alive, but it's Standy on the flank. Standy can make all the difference. A current 2 versus 3, but what can they do? What can they do with it? Attach wins it. Standy for the other. A big 1v1 onto the point. Now make it a 2v1 as the SMGs from Røkkr staying together. They hold the line. 8 combined from these 2. Standy finally goes down, but Attach will not. Can he get some streaks? Yes, he will.
Oh my. There's the first death for LAG in this round. Oh my god. The same. He's having a whale of a time. 23 and 17. Guns, Neptune. Who's next? Does anyone dare test him right now? He is frying. There are 2 players in church. There's 1 player in church. aBeZy! It's still going! Oh my god, aBeZy!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are joining us here for Florida versus Toronto. And these are the 2 players we're highlighting now. Bance versus Awakening. Tyler, I gotta say, it's been great for me seeing Bance after all the stick he got at the start of last year just become a force to be reckoned with in the CDL. And of course, Awakening, we saw him in the open bracket way back when, highlighted him then.
Wow.
Still great now.
I mean, I just completely forgot about that until you reminded me. My goodness me. Yeah, that. Wow, I remember watching them in the open bracket. Yeah, that was correct. I can't remember who they went up against. I believe it was actually at the time Mindfreak.
It was.
Awakening went crazy and knocked them down the losers bracket. We were like, who's this guy? And now we see it. That's wild. What just a realization moment, Pricey. My goodness. There we go. And look, here he is going up against a man like Bance, who, as said, yes, he has had his criticism and years gone by. Myself being one of those people who's criticized him and, well, got their licking on Twitter for it as well. Nonetheless, here we are. Bance in a really good position with this Toronto team, and they are looking very, very solid. But can Awakening be the guy to turn around here in map number 3? Controller's coming up, and for the Ultra, yes, you may well have a 2-0 lead. But if you are Florida Mutineers, you are 1 point away on hardpoint. You are 1 round away in search and destroy. Those small little differences can make all the difference when it does come down to Call of Duty. But can you make the difference this time in your favor as we head into control? It's time for the Florida Mutineers to turn this one around.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this map, by the way, is not only when Toronto and Florida played last time around, it was a 3-0, but this control was a 3-0 as well. And that's why I felt like the Mutineers had to win some of those first 2 maps. We'll see how it does play out, though. Hixie on board with new player. 5 Dave Patty. Look for Awakening. Says thank you very much. And his teammates clean this out completely as well. They're not resting on their laurels. They're not even worried about 8. They're already pushing the tempo.
Yeah, just run forward, Hixie, and just kill everything that you run into. Oh my goodness me. His MP40 is decimating the Mutineers at the moment. And progress today is just ticking on up, and I feel like the Mutineers have already given up on this one. They do find a couple of kills, though, and might invite them to ponder the opportunity to go and have a look at A, but looks as if Ultra are going to rock this one up. And with only 4 lives lost, they've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to head over towards B, and Hixie's still going.
Trying to get that kill as well. I mean, This guy just ran straight at him. And somehow iXy's still alive now on a 4-streak, looking for more players. He's going to find another as well. Paddy goes down. iXy hasn't even died yet this round, and they're now looking down the barrel of B. iXy's waiting for reinforcements, though. He is all alone. He finds a player up top as well. Gun, that's got away as well. iXy refusing to slow down here for the Ultra. The Super Sub has arrived, and the Ultra are now backing the beef. He is going to eventually fall, but the rest of the Purple Boys are here.
Skies.
And Skies slows the momentum, and he desperately needed to.
He needed to find those kills. Vivid around the back as well is going to put a dent in this attack from Ultra, but what a start from iXy. 7 in a row. Oh, may well have been the 6. He finds a 1 spray off the back of his initial death, but my goodness, was he causing an issue? And I think that's the thing when you bring a player like this into a team like this. You just say, right, get your head down and slay it. Just fly at them. He does have the smarts, absolutely, but his job's made easy by the players around him as well. Bance will find 2, and here's the push from Ultra.
Florida under the gun. They're going to have to stack this. They're going to have to get ready. Keep an eye on iXy, though. iXy's gone for an aggressive flank. Does eventually get traded away, but now they are starting to get ticks onto B. Paddy getting another one. Bance is now coming under pressure. He has reinforcement from his teammates. And Benjamin Bance hits him with the quick slide cancel, but is now alone. They're going to have to slow this down. The Mutineers are rallying. They're taking back B control, and they just have to get rid of Ben Bance in the background.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're going to be concentrating on him. They need to be wary of the rest of the Ultra coming on through. Bance is going to be dealt with, but here comes iXy once again. Looking to just try and get some sort of control here for Ultra. Not much map control at all, but there's Skies cutting the head of Snake once more, but Paddy towards the back finds 1. Can't find another. Inside finds 2 of his own. Momentarily was 4 dead, but here is Vivid inside the point. 9 lives remaining for Ultra, 6 for the Mutineers, make that 8 now for Ultra as Vivid is going massive. Can't find the kill on the Kleenex. A very close end to the round, 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's starting to sound like just concussive waves of stuns flying at the Ultra to slow them down. 22 seconds left. This will be their last attack. They do have the advantage in lives, but they do not have the time. Bance looking for another kill. It's eventually going to go down. That's Paddy in the corner. Kleenex trying to go through as well. Inside gets 1. And now it's Kleenex. Have to get on this time. They have to stop it. They're looking for it. Nades flying in. Stuns flying in. He's gone for the aggressive push on the Vivid as well, but he gets cleaned up. The rest of Ultra flying through, and it's only going to be Paddy left in a 1 versus 4. He's looking for them. He's trying to do something. And I just don't know if it's going to be enough. They don't have it, and he backs off in the end. He knows it's no good.
Oh, he finds a pick. Yeah, there's just not enough time. That is moving up very quickly with 3 members of the Ultra on the point. They just about get it done after a really, really encouraging start. Florida made the most of that there, but ultimately the time wasn't really there for Ultra. They had to go, and they won those final engagements when they needed to. And unfortunately for Ultra, they just didn't have the lives to combat back against it. So that first round is going to go over towards the Ultra. And it was an attacking round at that. Can the Mutineers enter back with one of their own? Paddy 12 and 4. They lose the round.
I was convinced the Mutineers had that. I thought they had it. I didn't think the Ultra were going to get more bodies in quick enough. But they now have to answer back on their own attack. And already doing a very, very good job. Getting a bit of time at A, stopping that clock. Have the advantage in lives. And the Ultra trying to regain here a little bit after a bad start. Vivid getting 2. Trying to get 3, but Kleenex will eventually shut them down.
They're in a good spot to get a hold of A here, though. They've got a lot of control. Awakening starting to, well, awake a little bit into this game so far. Hasn't had the best of controls. 5 and 9 currently on a 3 spree, looking to make it a 4 up against Insight, but whilst all this is going on, that control over towards A, that point is just ticking on up. Looking like Ultra happy to give this one up. They know they can defend B quite easily, and they'll lock it down for 2 minutes and 17 seconds though.
Yeah, it's all going to be about the Florida Mutineers. They have to work this correctly. B is never easy to capture. So let's find out how they are feeling. Let's jump to a Florida Mutineers. Listen in.
I'm second in. Look out for Charlie. Look out for Charlie. Charlie back, alley. I stunned him in the back. I stunned him in the back. On the truck. He's on the truck. Watch out. Then one's alley. He pushed me out. Yeah, he's under radio upstairs. Radio, watch out. Radio, watch out. Nice 3 again. 3 again. Hold. Inside back truck. Back weak. Back truck. Radio. Hard cold. Radio pinching plat. Plat. Stay over. Plat. 1 more flash. Plat on me. Here. No, radio right now. Alright. Stun radio. Yeah, I'm point, 1 shot, Kleenex, 1 point. There's another guy radio point. Pillar point. Pillar dead. Watch out, dead. No one back there. I have a shriek if you want. Yeah, he's 1 shot back there. They can be short. They can be right now. I'm holding back. I'm back out now. They can be right now. I'm only top radio. I have a shriek, guys. If we get a good push. Hey, I'm holding your radio. I'm holding your radio. I can shriek him plat. Yeah, you could. All right. Yo, get radio. Hold radio. Then hold radio. Turn around. Yeah. Yo, 2 plat, 1 back truck, 1 on the Godhead in back. Yo, there's no hitting radio. No, top radio absolute. Right corner. No, there's no one there. No one there. 21 to 9. He's in the back somewhere, I think. All right. You gotta get plat.
Well, you look at the lives, and it seems as if Ultra in a really bad spot. Mutineers just trying to put a ribbon on this round nice and quickly with that streak. And I think for me, you know, I mean, look, hindsight's a wonderful thing. They haven't managed to find anything from that. But for TJHaly and co, do you need to invest that there? Look at the life difference. You can kind of just slay out for this next minute and potentially win the round, but they choose to invest it, don't find anything from it, and all of a sudden it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, the streak doesn't really amount to much, Bryce.
Oh. Linux just played Skies there like a fiddle. And this is the pressure now. Ultra know they don't have lives to waste. They are trying to play this time. Here comes a big push from the Mutineers. Outrageous start to this control round. But can they convert it into a point on the board? Hixie about to come under trouble. Awakenings here, goes for the slide, goes around the corner. Somehow Hixie and Bams combined, and they're pre-firing the corner. More players coming through for the Mutineers, though. Vivid and Skies do not stop this train. And Vivid's up top. He sees Insight around the back as well, calls that out, finds a player onto it as well. Skies gets one. Eventually, Insight manages to stop the bleed. But is it too little too late? Toronto Ultra have no respawns remaining. The Mutineers maybe have one more push. Look how far away they are.
Yeah, the time is really not on the Mutineers' side here. This is a huge kill. Hixie needs to stay alive. He needs to find this gun. Fight against Awakening. Goes for the challenge. Awakening finds it. 4v3 momentarily.
Oh, it's a big push from the Mutineers. They just cleaned it up. They were waiting. They got there in time. They didn't rush in. They waited for the full stack, and that is a beautiful hit for them in the end. And you are probably right. That kill around the back just distracted Toronto a little bit. They weren't happy. They had to look multiple places, and the Mutineers execute perfectly in the end. 1-1 now in this control. It's not the same result as last time.
Absolutely not. And the big difference is there is that kill towards the back. I know ultimately the difference is massive, but if Hixie can find that, all of a sudden you have a 4v3 on the site for the side of Ultra to win the game. Or to win the round, at least, I should say. Sorry, but at the same time, look, you may well be down on the lives at that point, but when there's so little time remaining, the lives have very little to do with it if you can hold that defensive side. But nonetheless, it will be Florida Mutineers to find the round. Awakening. He was, what, maybe 2-9 heading into that second round. Now he's 10-14, has stepped it up in a big, big way. The Mutineers have leveled things up, but are currently being leveled by Ultra in round number 3. Air control does belong to the team from the north, and can they keep a hold of that here to force another couple of minutes onto this round to try and attack over towards B?
Yeah, Ultra just trying to slay out as well here. Clinic's doing the work for them this time around. Tries to turn a burn on Skies. Not going to be quite good enough. And Skies has got 2 to his own name. And Ultra just having to slow this down and get a bit of time onto A. They know they have to capture it regardless, but they really wanted to work lives and towards B as far as they can. Skies, though, he's dialed in here up top, Judge.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and hold it down. A couple of members of Ultra inside of Courtyard. He is going to be, well, I mean, just about given up by the Mutineers, as we so often do see. Awaken inside of him. Mapdo finds 2, will be cut down by Insight. Will force Ultra back just a little bit more. Ultra do have a very, very slight lead on the live side of things. Make that now 4. So maybe they could work this in their favor. 1 minute and 43 seconds and counting on down to try and get a hold of B or just wipe Mutineers off the map.
Well, this is difficult. It's so difficult to work B. We've seen it time and time again. Obviously, both teams have done it this round, but it has been a close run thing. And that is a huge kill from Skies. It's going to slow down the Ultra attack unless they can get a few more kills. It looks like Clienx is going to go for this. They're going to know he's pushed the site. They found Skies as well. Clienx has got 2. His teammates now need to back him up. You can see already the Mutineers have repositioned here. And now a little bit of time for Ultra, but can they hold off? Big flank coming in from TJHaly.
Yeah, he's going to have to find something here, but I just found it funny that the kill from Sky slows them down, and then you get the POV of Kleenex, who just moves forward, but they have been wiped out here, Ultra, for the most part. 2 players towards the back. Nice,
Skies.
Clean defensive work from the Florida Mutineers. Skies will find 3. They will push it on out. Awakening doing work over the other side of the map as well. We didn't quite see it, but off cam finds 2. Banson Hixie 4. Nice defensive work from the Mutineers so far. A minute to go.
Tell you something, not only does Awakening get 2 kills here, 3 kills now on this, but it is causing so many issues for Ultra. They know they will have to deal with him eventually. They know he's going to be going through their spawn. It is fragmenting their push. It is making it difficult for them to get any sort of map control. And for every second that this continues, that timer burns down their chances.
Oh, this is just a 4-man stack over towards the patio side. What can Skies do to deal with it? TJHaly is there to help, but Banks is able to answer back himself. 30 seconds remaining. Ultra have easily got one big push in them here. Bance is going to find two, just weaken up the defense of Florida Mutineers as that now does fall as Awakening. Skies is able to answer back. Final push coming here for the Ultra.
They're looking for it. Hixie trying to get all the way through here to kill this player. Does find him as well. Now getting back into it. You can see Vivid trying to get around the back. So is Awakening. They're trying to work this point as this has been stopped. Vivid gets two. Vivid gets three. And that will be a complete wipe for the Ultra. I think they're too far away now. Vivid pushes out, sees Insight. Insight does take him down, but I don't think they can launch themselves for this. There's only 5 lives remaining. Can Insight make it?
I don't think he can. I think they're going to try and just play the kills here. Oh, are they? CleanX is running for it. The thing is, they got 2 ticks towards it. If they can get inside cleanly, then maybe they can do something. Bounce inside the point. 1.2 seconds to go. Just not enough time for Ultra to turn that into a round win. Bounce with the comms, letting the team know what they could have maybe done better, what went wrong. But nonetheless, it's still just a defensive win coming in for the Mutineers. They'll be very happy to take it. Typically, that is what does happen when we come down to control, whether that be on Tuscan or Gavutsu. It is very defensive-sided. Both these teams, though, got an attacking round underneath their belt. The Mutineers have now got a defensive round underneath their belt. Can Ultra answer back with one of their own?
Yeah. I got to say this. I still think Awakening, unbelievable. Just completely through Ultra off their stride. Look at this hit coming in. Turns out the Mutineers are trying to get it, and Vivid is absolutely snapping. Eventually will go down and Ultra rebuff what could have been a very dangerous push from the Mutineers. They look to end this very, very quickly if they'd gotten B. Though, with no time slowing down for them, they're now going to have to try and get into A to stop this clock.
Yeah, you always see it, don't you? In one of the attacking rounds, you see one of the teams head for the less favored side of things to get things rolling, and, well, Ultra just about deal with that one, and Mutineers now start to concentrate their resources over towards A. Now gonna pick up a decent amount of time here. Awakening making some work over towards B as well, just to distract Ultra away. Mutineers now ticking over towards A with some momentum. Ultra gonna challenge this.
At the moment, it's a little bit of a stalemate. A little bit of a stalemate as obviously Florida just get progress at A. And Toronto Ultra are thinking about time. They're thinking about whether or not
shots
we can get the kills. The Skies just completely burns. And player there, Vivid looking for the player who's trying to get the contest going through. And at the moment, they haven't got A still.
Should be able to pick it up, but if you're Ultra, you just try and deny them as much time as possible to make something work over towards B. It's looking like it's going to be about 1 minute and 40 seconds, but pay attention to the lives. That may well come into it as CleanX wins a gunfight. He had probably no right to. Awakening gets wiped out, but it is going to be a reset now for the Mutineers. What can they get going? Well, not a lot, as CleanX and Bance force them away.
So this is where it gets a little bit tense here. The Mutineers want to execute. They're looking for these first few kills. Bance, though, looking for them as well. He's going to dive out here on Vivid. Finds that kill. They're trying to get away, figure out the best place as well. Awakening does chow, should be chowed as well, and it will be CleanX to just clean it up. They're trying to stay alive. And the Mutineers have been rebuffed for now. There is a fight going on at the moment, and CleanX has seen him, and that was a little bit weird. I thought he was just not going to shoot him for a second.
Yeah, very strange gunfight. I think CleanX is probably quite confused as to why Awakening is there. Nonetheless, we'll find the kills. Ultra just about defending well enough. TJHaly will find 2. He has slowed down, but still at 30 and 18. This guy's been lights out for the Mutineers. Can he be inspirational on this attacking round for them?
Wow, here comes the stack. They have players ready to go now. It's all about the gunfights going down, and it will go to the Florida Mutineers. Bance tries to get one back. He knows the pressure's about to come through here. His Skies, he gets Skies as well. Bance rejects all of that pressure through. The Mutineers are now going to have to take a quick back step, wait for those reinforcements to come through. And I say that, but Awakening's got 2 as well. This is the push. This is everything here. It's going to be time. It's not going to be lives.
There's going to be time. It's all in this last push. Bance will find another. Vivid will trade this one out with the push over towards Patio is going to come in. TJHaly will find one more. Patience from Ultra. They don't want to try and retake this 2v4. CleanX will find one under Vivid, but Mutineers need to hold on. There's not enough time to get back.
CleanX getting 2 as well. Patio managed to get Bance. He's going to turn and burn, but Hixie is there for it. Awakening still alive. He's trying to go through it, but Hixie is laid down on the corner, and now it's a sprint. Now they have to get it. Bance shuts the door in a player's face. I don't know who that was. It was Vivid. And they just have to try and touch it. I don't think they're going to be able to. I think somehow the Ultra have held and we're going to a round 5 in control.
Well, we often do find ourselves going to round 5 in control, but not with an attacker piece and a defensive piece. It's usually defense hold every single time. I'm very curious to who's going to have the defense here, but as I said, we've seen the teams win the attack and the defense in this control so far. You would still favor the defensive side, absolutely no doubt, and that is now going to belong to the Florida Mutineers. A huge opportunity to get back into this series.
It certainly is, and pretty standard opener there from the Ultra. Exact same thing. Clicks actually did that last round as well. They were on the attack, won the gunfight and pushing straight through, and now they go into the slaying game. They're looking for the kills in and around. Finds guys out towards the back, but does lose that gunfight versus the auto. This is difficult and dangerous. The Ultra don't want to give away too many lives. They know they need every advantage going into this B side. And it looks like the Mutineers are going to try and break it, Ton. Here they come. Awakening, looking for this player around the corner, and Kleenex is playing the hill pretty well. Can't find him.
That's the back on down, but the rest of the team in a good spot to potentially do something here. Don't need to worry too much about losing A so early. 2 minutes and 10 seconds now to defend over towards B. Lives very, very slightly in the advantage of Ultra. Your players all the way down this outer side of the map. Church control as well. What can you do about Skies towards the back? That grenade from Hixie's not going to find a great deal, and Skies will just sit on this tank all day long. Good luck with your challenges on this, boys.
They don't want to try and push this without numbers, and they're waiting for it. Ultra trying to regroup here, but keep an eye. They've had eventually does go down to Kleenex. They were hoping he would keep the pressure off them a little bit second, but Vivid is here. Vivid tries to pre-fire inside, and now getting out of here, waiting for teammates to back him up. Being contested, and suddenly that's 3 kills come through. Ultra have managed to get it. Somehow Ultra have got onto this point here, and Inside is going to take down Skies as well. And the Ultra are now getting progress onto B. Awaken is with Sin. Inside is throwing bullets up at that window. Vivid, though, manages to get 2. This may slow down Ultra a little bit as Awakening comes through as well. Skies gets 1 and says thank you for the second. An Ultra break, but they don't get a lot. They don't get that second tick.
That's the thing, you can find 3 or 4 there, but the spawns are so close, it's so hard to lock down. You can be flanked, it can come from 15 different directions at this point, so it's very, very hard to break on through. Ultra will have another go. There's still plenty of time. No hurry from the Ultra here, as you can see. They're setting up, they're waiting for their moment. Are they going to be able to get past Skies? He doesn't quite find the bullets into 1, but finds the 1 into the second. Not enough to deal with them, though. Hixie will eventually go down. Mutineers hold once more. Slight left advantage for Ultra. I don't know if it'll play into it.
They're going to need another big push, like a really big push. The problem is they've probably only got 2 left into them here, so they have to make this one count if they can. Bans will be shut down completely, though, and Awakening gets the second. Inside is through, and he's stopping the time. They're looking for him. Going to try and challenge him as well. Skies almost goes down to him, but does win that gunfight. It's huge. The Ultra are relying on that. Awakening gets another one. This is screaming for the Mutineers now. They want this map win. And again, just slowing down time. They're having to play this 1 by 1. They have to. They know they have to get through. Banshee just punched through, though. He's opened the door for Ultra, and they're walking through it.
On the flank. The last player's on the flank. They know exactly where he is. They're just going to stack the point. Look how quickly that capture zone is going up. Ultra might have just stolen it. Oh, my goodness me. Ultra, out of absolutely nothing, get the game done.
Benjamin Bance, by the way, you're not always supposed to make hero plays, but that is what it was. He said, I'm going to open the door, boys. Come and walk through to this win. And it's a 3-0 for the Toronto Ultra against the Florida Mutineers. What a finish to that game. The stack has shocked the Mutineers. They thought they had the time. They did not.
And it just comes down to the information. When Ultra played it so slowly, the time was on their side. They had around 50 seconds or so. They're just waiting to find the kills. They find 2 at the front, and they know 2 are on the flank. I think it's Hixie who finds 1 in map room, finds that kill. They know the last guy is there because they've been having a gunfight for what seems like 15 minutes. And they just fly at the point and stack it. Ultra get it done so quick, and the Mutineers do not have time to get there and answer back.
That's got to be going for Mutineers. They thought they had it. Like I said, it felt like there may be only 2 more pushes for Ultra in total. And it turns out Ultra kept playing the time. I didn't know whether or not jumping on solo was going to work out for them, but it did. And somehow they wrest away control from the Mutineers. It's another 3-0, but that does not tell the story of this at all. It has been some of the 3 closest maps you can imagine here. And well, story about. We haven't even talked about Hixie in ages. The game was too good.
The game was fantastic. As far as 3-0s go, it's one of the better ones we've seen this year, I would say. I mean, look, it's decided by 1 point in the hardpoint, 1 round in the search, and 1 round in the control. But it's the same old story for the Mutineers. They're close when it comes to some of these top teams, but they just can't quite get it done.
Look how
every
close they
single
were.
time.
Did you see that on the final kill cam time? Sorry to interrupt. I was way too excited about this game. Did you see how close they were? They were literally, I think it was like a toe away from stopping it. A toe!
What a game. And look at that. As far as 3-0s go, as mentioned, that's as close as you're ever likely to see it. 1 point in the hard point, 1 round in the search and destroy, 1 round in the control, but at every single point, it falls for the Ultra. What a game. What a game to end the week. My goodness.
Yeah, what a ridiculous game. And we're going to throw it back to our beautiful desk now and see what they made of what was the ridiculous 3-0.
Oh, I'm probably guessing that you and Ton are really happy that you saw a European team win once again while you commentated it. You guys are like the caster curse. Whenever an NA team plays against you guys always win. But still, great stuff for Toronto Ultra. Even with the sub Nameless team, they didn't skip a beat, man.
Their teamwork is next level. I mean, he went into the scene. He looked like a main SMG, by the way, the way that he was playing. He's super aggressive, and he was extremely impactful. Think into that first map, the plays that he made up top Grandma's, and the search and destroy as well. Like, dude, this guy was doing his thing. He might have a spot on a team going forward if Toronto was willing to give him up somewhere.
Hey, there's got to be a buyout somewhere in that contract alley. But it wasn't just Hixie. I mean, Toronto as a whole were great, but you were really happy with what you saw with Bands.
I did. Bands being the route man as always. Honestly, watching him and Hixie on the Mack, it felt like big bro, little bro, because both of them, it was one or the other. One was getting 1 kill mid, pushing through bottom church, just getting behind enemy lines, and then taking like 2 or 3 down with them constantly. Like, I'm sure Florida was so frustrated with getting shot in the back constantly by not just Bands this time, but now Hixie as well.
But it's got to be frustrating for Florida as well. You know, close loss yesterday. Even today, going against Toronto Ultra, even with the sub, they put on great performances, but they still couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah, and you know what? At the end of that control, that's where we saw the decision-making of Toronto Ultra seriously shine. They got that 8 point so fast. It got them 2 minutes on the clock. They had so much time and lives to work for this B point. Having offense in round 5 as a tiebreaker is so difficult. Toronto made it easy. Again, this is Bance behind enemy lines, just picking up kills for absolutely free. You had Kleenex slaying out on Plat, and then once they wiped all 4, they 4-stacked the point, and boom, it's gone before Florida can even think.
Yeah, and I feel like it was an error strategically on the side of the Florida Mutineers to play them on 3 SMG maps, Bocage, Tuscan. Like, you should probably throw some AR maps in there. 1, you have a team that has stellar ARs on it, and 2, you're going up against a team in the Toronto Ultra that is missing a superstar AR player in Cammy, right? So I think Florida dropped the ball there, maybe thought they could go toe-to-toe with them. But that's a couple Bocages now that Florida, in the very final moments, have choked it despite having players going off. But that being said, Florida could have won a lot of those maps in the final moments, but it just shows the composure on the Toronto Ultra is there, and they were able to clutch up.
You're right. And speaking of which, let's talk to the man of the hour. He's going to be the sub that stepped in a big way for Toronto Ultra. The Game Fuel Spotlight Player interview is going to go to none other than Hixie. And Hixie, how you doing, man? I'm good. I'm going to be straight up with you, man. You had a great day today. I saw 180s. You roll-starred somebody. You were fantastic. I love your gameplay. My question to you is, do you like sitting on the bench, or would you like to join one of the teams in the CDL to be one of the starters?
Everyone wants to start, obviously, but there couldn't be a better team to be on the bench for, really. It's the best team, well, second best team from last year, going off the standings. Probably got the best teamwork, so it was quite easy to fill in for. I didn't have to take no superstar role. It's just pure teamwork, so it was quite easy to fill in for.
Well, I have to ask, if you happen to have performances like this, and if this is a regular thing, which team would you like to join?
I can't say that.
Okay. Well then I'm going to ask you about the series again. We're going to go back to map 1, a little PTSD, if you will. You went off in bottom Grandma's for that, 1 point win on Bocage Hardpoint. You got to talk me through how chaotic comms had to have been on that map.
I mean, the comms are fine. Every time anyone does a comms thing with Toronto, everyone knows they have probably the best comms in the league. So the comms weren't too bad. I kind of trolled on a P4, flipped the spawns for us. So I mean, I don't think I had a great map individually, but I it's something at the end. I don't know. I didn't even know what the score was, to be honest. The thing just flashed up at the end. It said victory, so yeah.
Well, it was 1 point difference, just so you know. It ended by time here as we're watching our screen now. You went pretty okay, but your bomb grams, these kills in the back were huge. I mean, there's 2 seconds on the clock. Y'all were able to contest it and get 1 more point, 221 to 220 to take the map win. Congratulations.
I don't honestly, I've just watched that back then and I still don't know what happened. I have no idea what's happened.
It's bouquet, Chixie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. How much different was it, coming in and playing with the pro team? Obviously, you've been in Challengers, playing with those guys. Coming in and playing with a team like the Toronto Ultra, it had to be pretty weird. How was the mindset heading into everything?
It's like I said, there's probably not an easier team to fill in for with like the teamwork and everything that they've already got stapled down as a 3. So it was quite easy to fill in. Challengers to pros, obviously the skill level is a level above, but I think a lot of pro teams sort of have a general idea of how they play the game, so most of them play the same way, so it's not too difficult to get adapted to. There's not really too many spanning in the works. It's all pretty same, so it wasn't too bad.
I have one other question for you. Who are you rooting for in tonight's game?
Football?
Yeah.
Football, not real football.
Not real football. I'm going to let that one slide because it's the first match, but...
I'll go Bengals, Burrow.
Hey, there we go. We're in Ohio, so I'll accept that answer.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for putting on a great performance today. Hope to see a lot more of you in the future in the CDL, man, and I hope you have a good day, all right?
Appreciate it. You too.
Oh, anytime. All right, so with that being the last series of the day, hey, one European team lost and another one won. But speaking about the European team that did lose, the London Royal Ravens finally had their winning streak just broken entirely. Nameless, LAG put up in a big way.
These guys are the real deal, Holyfield, when it comes to hardpoint. 6-1 now, and aSim has stepped it up completely. The guy was double positive in both hardpoints. He's so impactful. The team is gelling on all cylinders. Like, first it was Gunless who was popping off. Now it's aSim, and you saw what he said. He said that they feel like they are the most structured team, and the proof is in the gameplay. Go back and watch it. The rotations are on point. The setups are on point. The communication has to be poised. So I think this team, it's going to get scary if they become one of the top teams in our league.
I'm going to say that seeing the team pop off, the submachine gun play is great on LAG, but seeing the AR step up in a big way as well, I think really made a big difference when it came to this roster.
I think for me, when it comes to LAG roster, the most pleasantly surprising thing was aSim being the big slayer. We look at Kyler as being a very aggressive SMG player, and I definitely thought that he was going to be that for this squad. I thought aSim was going to end up being kind of the route man, as he's usually known for, but he has been coming out and slaying and being the route man. He can do everything on the map, so I hope to continue to see his success.
Yes, now let's go ahead and take a look at what's been going on so far this season. I mean, London Royal Ravens were undefeated, but that got kind of snapped. They got their first loss today, but up top still going to be Seattle Surge and Atlanta FaZe, but Los Angeles Guerrillas 2-2 right now, doing better this year. That's what we want to see. But the Florida Mutineers sitting at 1-3. Nameless, we see the potential, we see the stats, a lot of it looks good, but still they have to capitalize and get these wins.
Yeah, some nail-biting series. These guys are going down to the wire each time. They just got to be better in crunch time.
Almost there, man, almost there. But here goes the points as well. aLLeY, do you think that this is going to change in a big way before we hit Major 1?
You know what, Belly? You know what, chat? There's a whole lot of COD to still be played going into Major 1, so don't forget, the upsets are still going to keep coming.
Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it so far. 2 weeks in, and it's already over. We got Seattle Surge up top, and the CDL is as exciting as ever. Rookie stepping in a big way, whether it's as a sub like what we saw from Hixie, or even if your name is Pred or Sib, the gameplay just keeps evolving. But heading into Major 1, I expect to see a lot more. But also, don't forget, make sure you catch that big game today. Me, I'm an Ohio native now, so hey, who day, all day, every day, baby. Hope you guys have a great day, a great night. We love you, and we'll see you next time for some more CDL action.